I'm making plays. Y'all know where to find me, you be looking center stage. 24/7, we ain't never taking breaks. Got a lot to learn, think you better know the game. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. Finally got the belt, now I think I'll give it back. At 24/7, grind, put me on the map. I think you probably should, cause study how I move, that's a fact. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. I got the belt, now I ain't gon' give it back. Yeah, y'all lit the match. I got the belt, now I ain't gon' give it back. Yeah, I make the play. And I can do this all day. You know I'ma make the play. Yeah, I make the play. And I can do this all day. You know I'ma make the play. To the bank, yeah, they call me Showtime, y'all know who to thank. Got some pressure on, gotta do this real big, no thing. I'ma get the done, what do y'all think? Yeah, I'm making plays, y'all know where to find me, you be looking center stage. 24/7, we ain't never taking breaks. Got a lot to learn, think you better know the game. Stop and making plays. Yeah, I'm making plays.
really feel like we're not there. We're winning because we're just better. We need to win because we're a better team.
So we're out here right now at Legacy Paintball Park in Lakeland, Florida, not far from Tampa Bay. We have New York Wrecking Crew, we have Tampa Bay Damage, and we're practicing for the AC event. So let's get after it.
Lakeland, Florida. Located midway between Tampa and Orlando, this small, sleepy Central Florida.
Fast, very fast. You got to get wide and capitalize on your bodies once you kill them on the break. That's the biggest thing. Wherever the center tower's not looking, play that side. He has to pick a side unless they double it. But the way we're seeing it is whatever side he doesn't pick, that's the side that everybody's pushing. So, and typically that's going to be the Dorito side because it's easier to move around.
Down here to Legacy, we know that we're going to get a good look for like every aspect of the field. They can push the Doritos, they can push the snake, they can get up in the middle, they set good traps. So we know that playing them, we're going to be prepared for anything. Yeah, listen, Damage is a legendary team. They're like 1A, 1B for best team in the world. We're so fortunate that they give us the opportunity to get spins, and we just want to push the limit as much as we can and, you know, make it happen.
Right. Snake guy, right? I was going to be the snake guy. Yeah, you're still shooting snake guy. I'm shooting for the baby. Runner. Go! Florida! Florida! Monkey one! Florida!
I don't think so. If he's looking, I don't think I can make
So
it.
I think you could have gone, but here's the other thing you need to do. Right here. Pop right in. Take out that. Okay. Then get into this.
Running the layout as much as it is getting the guys to click and play together. Communication's everything, right? We played the divisional layout, played New York Wrecking Crew all weekend, gave them some really good looks, really good spins. The good thing about this, I feel with this layout is if it's anything like this where they don't have a home, we're going to have a leg up on people that haven't played this layout because not having a home is something we have not had in a long time. There's always a home bunker. This time they moved the home off to the side, so it's not traditional at all. So if he decides to roll that into the AC, I feel playing this was a really good idea. If not, we'll figure it out as we go. We're a bunch of seasoned guys that are really, really smart. Breaking down fields is kind of what we do.
Solidifying our communication.
Welcome to the first day of competition here at the 2024 Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford here on Go Sports. And the first battle that's going to go down in the prelims in the professional division, 20 teams, around 200 pro players, the best teams in the world, are about to do battle. It's going to be Aftershock taking on Notorious and the LA Ironmen taking on Infamous. That's a legendary battle. Two teams that have been around for years, and what an amazing story as Todd Adamson has reinvigorated and brought back another legendary team, one of the longest-running teams ever to do it, Chicago Aftershock. And playing a relatively new team in Notorious. Notorious down a couple starters as well, too. So we'll see what they have. So on paper, got to give the advantage to Aftershock. Rich, what do you think Notorious needs to do here on this pretty chaotic layout? I mean, we'll see how chaotic it actually is going to be. It's a blind layout. No one got to play it. We had every single player from the Pro League out here walking it last night. It was very interesting. We're about to see point number one. Shock, Notorious. Notorious on the blue side, Shock on the red side, and on the breakout, looks like Shock's going to run Parrish all the way to D2 off the break, and he makes it clean. Now, we thought that this was going to be a little bit of a bloodbath on the break on this field layout, but Rich, looks like 5-on-5.
Yeah, and they're in D3 is Aftershock, and Notorious is in this 50 snake already, Matt. Notorious losing their first body and drawing a penalty. That's one of the new guys that they picked up. They're going to struggle a little bit with these new guys trying to figure out the pro curve.
Well, that's Magic. That's one of the best players in Europe. But, yeah, so first point, first penalty definitely is going to cost Notorious because I haven't seen anybody's walking off.
Yeah, 5-on-2 Aftershock advantage here as LJ Parrish goes into Notorious' side of the field on the D side.
Yeah, Parrish in a really good spot. They are going to be losing their first body, so that's a bad death over here on the D side to Thomas Kim. Then Clay Hughes is going to run down Johnson, and Parrish is able to scurry his way through on that D side. So a little bit of help for Aftershock with that penalty assessed on Magic for Notorious, but Shock looked pretty good. I mean, the only death that shouldn't have happened was, I think, Thomas Kim in that backfield.
Interesting seeing, like you said, though, 5 guys making it alive from both sides, right? Because there's no back center. Everybody's basically running and shooting.
The echo. Yeah, I was yelling.
Yep, in the pits here with Shock. So it looked like Clay Hughes drew the start. That was going to be a question. So they were going with Hosky, Ryan Hoskinson, but Hosky wasn't getting it done midway through the day, Rich, and he was making some mistakes out there.
He had some good points.
Yeah, he played in Texas. He played well for him. He got the start.
Yeah,
but he started making those mistakes you can't make in that position, so they had to go to Hughes.
I think there's a little bit too much Malloy for him. You know what I mean? That's a tough battle.
It's tough, but you want to win the tournament. That's the guy you got, man. That's the job.
I talked to him about it this morning. He's like, yeah, man. He's like, first shot both times. I'm like, yeah, don't gunfight that dude. Just hide. Let him get close and then bunker him out.
So now Ironman and Infamous take the field here in this split deck format. And you can see just a tiny little cake in that backfield. It's the smallest bunker in the bunker set. So we're going to have another 5-on-5 break, and it looks like we don't. So body dropping for the Ironman. It's Tom Guest. He takes the walk.
Callie gets a bounce, but is alive. No, he is eliminated. So 4-on-4, Matty. Oh, does Ironman go through? Trade out another 3-on-3, Matty.
Nice little trade. That was Nita. Yeah. No, that wasn't Nita.
That's the new kid, right?
Well, Nita plays on Shock now, so
yeah.
so many changes. Yeah, that's the new kid. I heard really good things from Shane about this new kid.
Said him this morning. Seems like a nice kid.
Yeah, they said Shane thinks he might be one of the fastest guys in the league. We will see.
Faster than you? I doubt that. I doubt that very seriously.
These days, absolutely.
I would hope so.
My 3-year-old's faster than me right now. So look at this, though. Ryan Hall getting into a good spot. So this is going to be a pretty crucial position. You can kind of see the way that the snake beam funnel into that 50 that hurts Brick. Little reposition as looks like Henry Sense is going to get smoked, trying to get out wide.
Well, and talking to a lot of smart guys last night about paintball, like we always do, a lot of us kind of agree that there's going to be a lot of 3-on-3 island ball kind of situations on this field as people kind of learn how to develop and get past the breakout.
Well, Ryan Hall just ate up
2 bodies, right?
Yeah, 2 bodies right there. So nice point here for Ryan Hall. Also that D side. Great job for Infamous. But, yeah, I agree with you. A lot of the conversations. I actually saw Ryan Hall yesterday when we were at dinner. We were at the same restaurant, him and Brett Messer, so we had a pretty decent long talk about the field and the team and how everything's going. And we said the same thing. When you have a chaotic – a field that could, because there is no back center and there's a lot of open lanes, we could see a lot of times where you just have to play that scramble paintball where there is no game plan anymore.
Read and react.
You just have to play paintball. So, the guys that have been doing this for years and have, proven they can win tournaments, probably going to excel in a situation where you have a blind layout, so you can't just practice it point after point for, an entire weekend, play multiple games on it. And Ryan Hall just showed us how it's done. He was pretty confident when we discussed things yesterday, and rightfully so. Great point from Ryan Hall.
Yeah.
And Sam Silberg, I believe, over there on that D side. This could be a really good D side for Sam Silberg. Let's listen in real quick.
I was getting checked. All right, listen, Tim, Joe, Nate, Ryan Hall's EP. So I did the Denver CP cross. Yeah, right here. I realized that Tom was also doing the Denver. He was right at it, guys. So I went like this. Oh fuck. Yo, Zach, Nate, Ryan, Tim.
Hey, Snake guys, Zach. Yeah. Once you get in the actual knuckles, the shadows are terrible. You just see all of them. Yeah. I crept in there, nobody saw me. He just shoot the edge. You just see the shadow. Hey, did we just kill him?
A little bit of a technical timeout being called here, so
that's a good kill. That's a good kill.
Still in the pits with Infamous.
Yeah, teams are coming off the field, so it might be a big technical timeout.
Well, the one thing that's interesting, too, so we're listening to this conversation that Infamous is having, and since it's a blind layout, I mean, everyone's having these little micro conversations about very specific angles. You're going to see lots of those go down here, even more than we're going to normally see.
Constantly, right?
Yeah, because this is literally that's the first point they played on this field, and we've only seen 2 points played. So everyone's trying to figure out what's working, what's not, what's going to be the most efficient way to attack. Can we defend it if we're down bodies? Another interesting story for Infamous is they have a new rookie on their team. Might have heard of him before, Andy Cobcock.
There used to be a guy in Canada called Andy Cobcock. Andy 1, Andy 2, or Andy 3?
All 3 of them.
Wow.
What's also interesting...
That is scary.
So we played with Andy back in the day, and he's a legendary player, but they brought him back. He's been playing a lot of 10-mans and just feasting at the 10-mans, and he's still got his speed, still has his athleticism. He's 48 years old
People
now.
were asking me how old he was. I was like, I think like mid-40s. And like, no, he's got to be 50. I was like, Man, I'd pick up Andy in a heartbeat. That kid's an amazing paintball player.
Yeah, but it's just... what's funny, too, is that, when you don't play... your ranking slowly diminishes over time, and so he's currently ranked D3, which
it's the best D3
to me
player
is
in the
hilarious because we've won pro tournaments with Andy. But
gotta be the best D3 player in the world.
Great guy and a great player, and it just love hearing stories like that because. If you're out there and you haven't played in a couple of years, you probably can still do it, man. It really is like riding a bike. The perishable skill is the snapshot. Your accuracy on your snapshot's that's gonna go away after some time. But the second you pick that gun up,
rust falls off.
All of those pathways you built up in your brain by playing tournament paintball over the years, it comes right back. And we keep seeing like Ryan Rodarte is playing on Houston Heat now. So and it's still on this technical timeout. But it was funny too. Talked to Ryan yesterday a little bit. He's stoked to be on Heat. And then I talked to Pat McKenna, one of their coaches with Ryan Smith, and he had said, I was like, well, how'd you get Rodarte? He's like, well, we kind of compiled a list of old pros that would, kind of fit the bill. And we just started talking through it, and we were like, what about Ryan Rodarte? So we gave him a call. So then and he's like, yeah, absolutely, man, let's do it. And then I talked to Ryan. He's like, man, I'm happy to be back. I'm like, well, how was your break from the game? He's like, got a job, made some money, and now I'm back, I'm like, okay, man, that's awesome.
It's called being an adult. We all have to do it at some point, unfortunately.
Okay, looks like things are sorted as the teams are now coming back out here. And we got LJ Parrish there on your screen. Had a real good first one. So, yeah, with this, because this is a lot of names we're very familiar with, but and obviously the name itself, Aftershock, legendary team, but then they went and picked up a bunch of seasoned pros. But the one issue for their starting line that's not solidified essentially is the Snake.
Yeah.
So right now it looks like it's going to be Hughes. Nita is hurt, so he's probably not going to see the field. So they're going to have to go with Hughes or Hosky, most likely. Could switch. Maybe they saw Parrish in there a couple points yesterday, but just disastrous break here for Notorious as 2 bodies come off early. Though
I think Shock lost 2 also, Matt. Referee's running in, going to get a penalty. So Shock actually lost 3, Matty.
Yeah, they lost 3, and it looks like A-Rod is going to reposition. He's going to dive in the Snake. Johnson's going to run. Oh, they're going to trade? They're going to trade. I mean, I'm surprised that A-Rob was even able to trade with Johnson.
One-on-one? Nope. Notorious is going to win this point.
Wow. This is one that Shock's going to want back because they did lose one body on the break, so it should have been a 4-on-3 in favor of Shock, but that penalty cost them. Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, even the Notorious player we're watching, he's just being extra careful and scanning the field because all those bodies came off so quick. So smart finish here from Sherman. That's always a fun one, too, when it's a giant bloodbath.
Chaos.
But then you're looking around and you're kind of looking around, still alive. Oh, God.
Am I the guy? Am I the guy alive?
Yeah, guess it's going to be me. All right, perfect.
Can't believe I didn't get shot right there.
Don't have to win a one-on-one to win this point. Perfect.
Perfect.
Now we're in the pits. So there's Clay Hughes. He's got his pack off right now, but probably going to be their go-to guy today, potentially. I'm sure we're going to see Hosky again at some point. Have these guys fight for that starting spot. There's Hosky right there. Talking to, looking at the Tom Martinez. He's on the clipboard. So about to jump into this next point here.
Infamous breaking up from the red side. Ironman from the blue side.
Yeah, so new pickup, Brody Lewis for the Ironman. Hearing really good things from the coaching staff of the Ironman about this new kid.
4-on-5 advantage here for Infamous as Ironman loses their second attacker, D side.
Yeah, Brussel back quick to attack on that D side and gets into that crucial wedge position.
Yeah.
I like how Infamous is playing this field. I mean, we've only got a couple points in here.
Yeah, they got the spots. They got the 50 hertz bunker on the snake side, and they got that wing on the D side. Also one body advantage here, Maddie.
Oh, but Brusselback loses a gunfight on that side, and he's forced to take the walk. Nate Schrader still alive. They got a little two-pack of bodies over here on the snake side. You're looking at one of them right there, matched up. We're going to see, just again, the way that this layout is, that funnel towards that 50 brick on the snake side, but a little bit better position with Schrader right behind. First attacker in the snake with Patient. Patient gets run down. Oh, did Schrader take one too? No, it looks like Schrader's good to go. Joe Barrett able to make it out to D1.
Infamous down to 2.
And Henry Sense, though, a little bit better field position as he's up at D2 for the Ironman.
Yeah, Ironman with 3, Infamous with 2. Kind of what we thought were going to happen here. A lot of 2-on-3, 3-on-3 side points here with bodies dying early. When you got 5 guys on both teams running and shooting on the break, it definitely creates a lot of chaos in the beginning of the point. It gets really hard to track how many bodies are alive left out there on your team and the other team. So the communication and teamwork is crucial.
Tom Guest sharking up the middle of the field, trying to figure out where these last bodies are. And those last bodies for Infamous D1 and the Aztec with, so it's Barrett and Ryan Hall trying to hold the line. Tom Guest trying to find the seam.
I was really impressed with Tom Guest yesterday when he went up the middle for those fast points.
He's getting really good.
Yeah, he was, and Shane's super impressed. And if Shane and Pax are impressed, then that goes a long way.
Well, I like he's aggressive, but he's very methodical while
like
he's
really
being
smart
aggressive.
aggression. It's not just a show-off aggression. It's like, how can I use my aggression to win this point for the team?
When you could tell, when you watch him play with his body language, there's Big Tom Guest on your screen. Tall guy, too, so he can shoot angles a lot of guys can't shoot. Good off-the-break shot, but ideally when you have a player like Tom, so it's the quickness in his ability to put the variables together while he's pushing up the field with, head checking, head on a swivel, playing on his toes, going forward.
Yeah.
And it's just been very impressive. He's cleaned up a lot of points for the Ironman. I think that Tom's going to have a real good career here.
Like a tall, athletic, short-haired Chris Lasoya.
Yeah, Tom, can we grow the hair out a little bit, man? What do you think?
Bring back the pony.
He's way taller than Chris Lasoya. Probably got Chris by
4 feet.
5 inches, 6 inches maybe. So tied up 1-1 here. Shock and Notorious, but
looks like Hossy's getting a spin.
Yeah, I think they have to, right? You got to have those two guys battle for that spot and see who's going to prevail.
Yeah, you got to give them opportunities. Notorious dropping a body on the snake side there, Matty. Everybody on their belly crawling forward on this snake side into the snake 50. We're going to see this all weekend long. Guys make that insert from the small temple into the wing, go from the wing right out to the Hertz bunker. As soon as they hear the other guy's gun going one way or the other, they just go trade out.
Yeah, Johnson trades out with Hosky, and this is why it's good to have a double stack of bodies up there because Magic's now going to crawl up. But here comes a big move as Nick Sloviak with a coast-to-coast run. He's going to be begging for a penalty, and he's going to get it. Major penalty. That's 2 penalties on Magic. He's got to clean it up a little bit here.
Yeah, that was a tight call, too. That guy's gun was kind of that way. He brought it up basically an inch, maybe 2 inches.
Well, they called that penalty on Billy yesterday in overtime. Yeah. So similar to a strike zone in baseball, if they're calling that outside strike, you got to swing at it. If they're calling those close bang plays penalties occasionally, you really got to start being careful. If you get run down and your gun's not completely up and already posted and pointed that way at that guy, don't pull the trigger.
Great read from A-Rod, though, going from the corner all the way and bunkering the guy at the 50 snake.
That was Sloviak.
Oh, Sloviak. Sorry. Good job, Nick. Finally getting the vet in there for some spins. I like to see that.
Well, it's also good, too, because with the Shock's pretty deep roster, again, we're going to see both Clay Hughes and Hosky fighting for that first attacker on the snake side. But they have Al Fernandez. They got Nick Sloviak. I mean, they're deep.
Depth, Matt. We call that depth.
Yeah, so, Nick needs, even though he's a vet and he's been around forever, been on some winning teams, he needs to go out and have good showings out there to continue to get reps, too.
Yep.
Looks like Keith DeWitt's going to get a spin here. So there's Lewis, Brody Lewis, brand new pickup for the Ironman, and apparently a speed demon. 17 years old. I talked to Shane about him yesterday. Thinks he's going to have a pretty bright future. Likes his aggression and his athleticism and his attitude. So it looks like Lewis going to take some ground, get into the snake here off the break.
5-5 for both teams. Infamous a little bit more of a defensive breakout, Matty. They're pushing D-side. Ironman dropping their first attacker D-side.
Yeah, Tom Guest getting shot trying to get out to D1, man. Yeah, it's, again, only a couple points in, and it has been a little chaotic on the break with some bodies dropping, but it's not every single point, Rich, so far.
Infamous is kind of giving up this left 50. They know the guy's in there. They're just counting on their gunfightings to stay alive. Now they're sending a player forward to go get him.
Yeah, this
might be Ryan Hall.
Kind of have to do it. Yeah, Hall never scared to go. He's going to come around and dice up Lewis.
Oh, that may be Jonah. I think it was Jonah.
Was it? Oh, Jamrose?
Yep.
Good to see him back.
Yeah, Ironman 4 walking the same time for the Ironman. You can't leave in clusters.
I mean, I was going to say I'm looking for a penalty flag on the ground, but it's not a penalty.
No.
It's Sam Silberg just cutting through the D side and just decimating the line of the Ironman. Nice job by Sam Silberg.
Well played, sir. Shock heading back out. Going to be starting this point from the blue side of the field.
Yeah, so Jonah Jamrose dealing with an injury for quite a while. Yeah, it looks like Andy got a spin.
20 seconds.
So there was Sam Silberg, hero of that last point. And that's going to go on the list. I mean, it wasn't a flashy move, but it did produce about 3 kills. Maybe, I don't think 4. I think he got about a 3-pack on that one. But, Pate Smith Law giving out $500 in the prelims and $1,000 on Sundays. And he's a paintball player, and his law firm specializes in representing his clients against your insurance company doesn't want to pay you for property claims, so he's doing God's work. So right now, Notorious making it to that important 50 here, snake side. Shock with the little baby 1-point lead to protect with bodies all across the back line, essentially, and in the snake. But Hosky going to get shot out there. Those are the deaths that Hosky can't have.
And doesn't get the trade.
Yeah,
4-on-4.
But they do shoot Johnson on Notorious, though, so 4-on-4 situation. But
here goes A-Rod. A-Rod kind of throwing away his body there. Shock with snake corner, D corner.
Yeah, another body coming off. 2 more, actually. A body from the snake got shot. And then Marky Franz, who's dealing with a groin injury, he gets shot out of D1.
I think it's a 3-on-1 right now. Shock advantage with 2 on the D side, 1 in the snake corner. I only see 1 Notorious player. That's D2. Wheeling and dealing. He gets eliminated. Possible 3 on a nobody.
So, Shock starting to stack up some points here. Yeah, I mean, that point was initially looking pretty good for Notorious.
Yeah.
With the death of Hosky. And once Hosky got shot, they just had all back line. But then Notorious started losing too many gunfights.
Yep.
And
dinked out of their spots.
And when you're... And that's the type of point that you need to prevail in. If you just shot out their first attacker on the snake, you have position, and on your opponents are all stuck in the back line. You can't just start losing gunfights.
Well, the big mistake you see a couple teams making out here is they're dying in clusters, right? When you see someone die on your team, you got to pucker up, right? You got to start playing much tighter, much smarter. There's something going on you guys don't know about, and you got to make that adjustment before the other team can capitalize on that. Ironman only having 4 on the box.
Oh, I don't think they got that. I don't think they. Yeah, the referee's running them down. That's going to be a penalty. So a little bit of a mistake here from the Ironman might cost them this point and allow Infamous to put up this third one. Yeah, they're immediately going to concede.
Yeah, Shane just concedes that point.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Paxton kill somebody in the pit right now. I'm waiting to see it. Somebody was supposed to be out there and didn't go out.
Yeah, so some sort of miscommunication in the pits cost the Ironman a point and could be an important one.
In that bracket, 1 point is huge, man.
Yeah, this bracket is pretty nasty. It's Dynasty, Ironman, Impact, Infamous, and New York Extreme. We will see Impact and New York Extreme play next. Tampa Bay Damage and ML Kings also going to be in that set. But, talking about which is the bracket of death, they're all pretty rough. I mean, with the parity in the league right now, there's really no weak teams. It's just, whether a team you should or should not beat. But, it's like New York Extreme was one of the top teams last year. And then you guys were beat up with injuries in the early part of the year, and now you're back at more closer to full strength. So if Extreme stuff, this is when you're looking at the brackets, if Infamous is playing well, so if New York Extreme plays well, that bracket becomes incredibly difficult.
It's really hard, yeah. Very, very challenging. But that's what makes it so rewarding.
Split screen breakout here. Shock with a 2-point lead. These points are going fast, so a lot of time left. 11:35. Both teams going to be going right back into that attack on the Snake.
Way more 5-on-5 breakouts than I thought we would see, Matty.
Well, Hosky runs down. Looks like, yeah, so an even trade. Thought for a second Hosky might have stayed alive, but so 4-on-4 situation. It's evened up on that D side, but Notorious first to jump a body back into that crucial Snake spot, and it's going to be Johnson.
Matt. I think it's important to own that real estate, right? It's one of those things where you don't have to win that area, but you can't lose that area. You can't have another team with a body in there, and you guys don't have a body in there. So funneling bodies up into that key position is going to be very, very important.
Yeah, so they own a decent amount of the real estate. They're Notorious. They're outside wide. They desperately need this point because they're down 2. Again, lots of time left, but
they got 2 guys over here in the Snake. Let's see if they can 2-on-1 the guy in front of him.
Well, Shock is back in it. Johnson does not know he's there. He hasn't touched the bunker. Here comes Thomas Tim. He runs around to trade out, but they still have another body over here. Notorious going to move up into Snake 2.
A-Rod filling the Snake corner for Aftershock, looking to get in the Snake side.
Yeah,
both teams committing 3 bodies over to this 50 Snake, Matty.
Yeah, Logan Dyer over here for Notorious on your screen. Snake 2, pump and paint inside.
Yeah, and one of the questions we were talking about when 1,000 of us were walking the fields yesterday is, can you stay alive in that Dorito can, right, as the team starts to advance up both tapes?
Well, there are some pretty nice crossfield shots. Sometimes fields don't have – there's always going to be crossfield shots, but sometimes they're more potent than others. And looks like A-Rod getting shot out, so that's going to give Notorious an opportunity here with Dyer.
Yeah, bad death.
So Dyer moves to the 50.
Looking to catch Corey there on the transition.
Yeah, Corey Hall had to transition to that back cake, but he wins a gunfight. That's a great shot from Corey Hall in a tiny position, but he ends up getting clipped while he engaged with Dyer, and it looks like Shock's going to also be losing Parrish, so
3-on-3 to 3-on-no one. Notorious, good point there.
Hayden sprinting in, going to get a check real quick. But, yeah, Hayden Burgess. Nice work over there. Yeah, so I think it was a combo of Burgess and Jared Sherman getting it done to keep Notorious in this match. So just a 1-point spread. Shock. And a little bit of a rough go on that last point.
Are you hearing when they get to the Chicago?
In the pits right now with Notorious.
Yeah, I saw his shadow just standing up, and then that's why we waited first. Yeah.
Are you a shooter? I think so, yeah. Just do what you gotta do. You're good. Hey, you're a shooter, right?
No, that's all we do. You know the
Yeah, and again, Notorious missing 3 of their core starters, so had to go to the well and grab a new body with Francisco.
5 life for both squads, Matt, as both teams crawl to that 50 Snake.
And here comes the attack. Lewis comes through. Does not get his man, though.
That's a mistake. Ironman down 2, 5-on-3 advantage for Infamous.
Yeah, Jonah Jamrose living through that engagement here, trying to protect this 2-point lead.
Infamous pushing down the D side.
Tell you what, by the look of this, Rich, so far, I mean, we're only in set 1, but we could see a lot of points played on this layout.
Yeah, 5-on-2 advantage, Infamous here. Yeah, we could see a ton of points. Could be a long, long day.
Yeah, so advantage, Infamous.
Huge advantage, yeah. Because the 2 Ironman players are stuck in the pocket. One's in the back center. You cannot live in that back center when they're on both tapes rapping.
So they can see the point, as Tom guessed, and sense just in, rough spots because their outside wide bodies died.
Good point for Jonah there.
So now, see if Notorious can summon the spirit again.
30 seconds.
As we follow Jonah Jamrose back to the Infamous pit.
Needed to call 88 for that bunker. Yeah. Call the 88 next time, because you would have fished him out quicker, maybe.
Hey, what did you bump that kid, dude? That was sick.
Dude, he just came through and didn't even hit it, dude. He was like...
That was sick, dude.
Aftershock breaking up from blue side. Notorious in the red.
Yeah, going back to Hughes now. And, Parrish. Big outside and in route to D2, and he makes it clean.
Yeah.
As
Aftershock playing over there getting a check in the can.
Here comes
a hard bounce.
Yeah, so Francisco versus Clay here in the snake. Francisco rolls around. Referee going to come and check him out. Hughes going to run the inside route. Blasts him. But it cost him his body, but that guy had to die.
2-on-4 advantage Aftershock.
Yeah, Shock with a couple moves outside and then now up into Snake 1. And there's no one in front of him. So, yeah, Notorious is going to concede the point to preserve the time. They just had those 2 bodies on the D side. The Snake getting destroyed. Yeah, we're going to see a lot of points on this field.
At least halfway through the day, right? Sunday might be a different story. But this morning, with no one knowing the field, everybody kind of reading, reacting as they go, it's going to be fast.
Well, I think this afternoon, once everyone kind of figures the field out a little bit, the blessing of, mornings are great.
Yeah, I love the morning.
Get it over with. It's not as hot.
Watch.
Yeah, and then you can watch some games. But right now, I'd rather have afternoon bracket.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because then you get to watch some of these games and kind of figure out what's working, what's not.
Even having the second match versus the first match, as in New York, I'm like, hey, that's a big advantage, guys. At least we get to see one team play the field.
Yeah.
Because everything is just conjecture, right? We're all just guessing about stuff.
Yeah, and on paper, I mean, right now, Infamous is a 3-point lead. I thought this was going to be a blow-for-blow battle because the Ironmen, they looked pretty good yesterday. They went undefeated in the prelims in Texas, and right now, Infamous's aggression, the Ironmen just have not really had an answer.
They're not playing the field right. Well, the Ironmen are playing out of the back line, and this is not a black line field.
Well, they're also losing too many bodies, and not even off the break necessarily. They're losing too many gunfights, and Infamous is just staying alive and playing a little bit more aggressive. Ryan Hall's had some good points. Silberg's had some good points.
Yeah, 4-on-3 advantage here for Infamous.
Jonah, Infamous looks like they've got this field. And every time we cut to the pitch, you see Travis Lemansky's at the clipboard trying to figure all these different variables out. Right now, 3-on-4 situation, as you're saying here. And they got that important 50 bunker in the snake looking inside. No one on that D side, so he's got a lot of breathing room in there. Yeah. And he's got his body out wide here for Infamous, so...
Ironmen need to get a key elimination here. They missed the gap from Dorito 1 to Dorito 2. Oh, no, they caught Callie. Callie's taking the walk. That's the kill they needed, Maddie. 3-on-3 now.
Well, Brusselback just moved into the snake.
Right behind Jonah.
So if Brusselback can get a shot in on Geiger in the snake, Geiger's got a body right behind him, too. Yeah. Right beside him.
Yeah. The Ironmen have 3 guys over here in the package on the snake side. Infamous has 3 guys in the package over here snake side. Should be very interesting to see how this plays out. Everybody's mirrored up the same spots. But, of course, we know that there's no one on the D side. We're not sure if Ironman or Infamous know there's no one on the D side because a lot of people point their guns that way.
Well, Brett Messer is at the Aztec, and he's got a huge voice. And I think they're trying to figure that out right now. But here comes Lewis. Lewis does get the drop in.
Oh, he gets them both.
Snake. I don't think so. I think this was Geiger shot Tim.
Okay.
So Lewis went bunkered out patient, and then Geiger shot Tim. So Zach Geiger steps up, gets a 2-pack here.
Great job.
Yeah, to keep the Ironman in this match. Still a lot of time left, man. We played 6 points. There's still 8 minutes left.
Infamous threw that point away. It was a 5-on-3 there for a few minutes. Sloppy play.
Yeah, beautiful job by Geiger. When the chaos went down. So Lewis goes through, bunkers out, patient. Geiger shoots Tim Brussel back, and then shoots Brett Messer.
Huge.
And he also must have known the count, because as soon as he did that, gun down, just jogged right in to hit that buzzer. So Geiger, not only did he make those efficient kills, but also
had the count right.
Yeah, he had the count right, which is ideal.
Look at the big brain on Geiger.
Zach, let's go again.
Got some paintball legend coaching the Ironman right now with Mike Paxson and Shane Pestana.
Combined 600 years of paintball experience. Shock and Notorious. Let's see if Notorious can turn this around. But the only guy I see consistently getting shot is the guy going to the can on the D side. That guy's getting shot or bounced quite a bit. Shock drops 2. Notorious drops 1. 4-on-3 advantage for Notorious.
Yeah, Thomas Kim and A-Rod walking off for Shock. Magic comes through, bunkers out. Hosky.
Yeah. Notorious just needs to go down the snake side. That's another kill from Corey Hall. Only LJ Parrish, only player left alive for Aftershock. Looks like Notorious is going to win this point with 4-on-1 here.
Yeah, Johnson talking it up. He's on to Aftershock side of the field, trying to get that crossfield shot. I was going to say, just hit the deck and crawl up.
Yep, make it easy.
So they get that kill on Parrish with 3 bodies alive. Dyer's going to go hit the buzzer. And now we got ourselves a 1-point game. This is a good look for Notorious, because Shock's a tough team to beat right now. And again, Notorious is down a bunch of starters. They don't have their most vicious attacker, Archie Barnes Jr. Congrats to their family. They just had a kid. No Ty Bateman. Marky Franz is a little injured, but he's playing through it. So, tough dude. And then they had to pick up Francisco, who's ranked D3. And then they got Magic coming over from Poland. That's a long trip. But they're looking pretty solid, considering they've had some hits to their line.
For sure. Basically a new lineup, right?
Because Bateman and ABJ,
starters.
I mean, those are starters, core starters. Those guys are good. So, yeah, man, this is a pretty good look here. If they could find a way to get a win.
Shows they got a really good program, right, where they can just plug in new bodies.
10 seconds.
All right, so the Ironman, with a little help from Geiger in that last one here, staying in this match with 8 minutes to go. Body drop in from Infamous.
Looks like Andy, maybe. Ironman onto Infamous side. Oh, he overslid and got shot in the foot. Otherwise, we'd had a free kill inside. Ironman dropping to 4-on-3 advantage here for Infamous.
Attack him on that D side, though, for the Ironman, as they get DeVitt to the wedge, and they also dive a body into D2.
Geiger the snake again for Ironman. Infamous gets another kill. 4-on-2 advantage, Infamous.
But it looks like Kyle getting shot out of D2. So just Keith DeVitt and Zach Geiger on the field here currently for the Ironman. I mean, for Infamous right now, Rich, it would probably be a good idea in this 4-on-2 situation and a 2-point lead. Obviously, you want to win the point. Maybe try to burn a little of that clock off.
Much as possible, man. Let's just work on our communication. Let's work on putting pressure on the Ironman, force the Ironman to try to make a mistake or concede. Nope. They're going to run down the field and bunker him out.
Yeah, you got to let Silberg eat. Sam Silberg coming through.
Yeah, I feel bad for them. I guess they don't let him eat between tournaments, so he's just fasting the whole time. And then when he gets to a tournament, he's just famished.
He's getting pretty good, man. Sam was, he was a star on level, and then then they brought actually Silberg over, and then that was, him and Danny leaving was kind of the coffin nail for that crew.
Yeah. The death nail.
But
Thanks, guys.
but Silberg was a standout on level. That's when we first started having to remember his name.
Yep.
And he's been a real big boost to the offense here on a team full of offensive players. So, I mean, to get a starting nod on Infamous with the wheels they got and the aggression they got, that means you're getting pretty good. Ryan Hall and Joe Barrett.
Yeah. I know you're saying it. I'm just not hearing it.
Having a little communication conversation. So jumping into this next one here with just a 1-point lead for Shock now, as Notorious has been gritty.
Shock with a little different look there, too. They went 3 out of back center. Didn't shoot anybody, but different look.
Man, these Snake
4 on
players,
4.
Rich, are going to get brutalized.
Yeah.
This
is kind of like an old school Snake here.
Yeah, every time you come, because you have to go bunker the guy out if he's there. And then when you do that, you're probably going to trade with him, and then you're going to get shot half dozen times from maybe even a little bit more. So, yeah, because Magic just wore at least about 10. Yeah, they also lost Burgess as well, too. So down to 3 bodies here for Notorious.
3 on 4 advantage for Shock. Shock's again got 2 guys in the back center, back line in the Snake Temples, Tom's Kim. Looks like in the Dorito side can, the center south electronics bunker, and then that D3 over there. So good field position for Aftershock. Notorious a slight advantage here, Snake side. They got a better field position, but they're down a body. Tom's Kim's kind of on island here for Aftershock. Cannot die, because if he dies, it'll allow Notorious to come down this tape.
Good communication from both squads here. Communication's always important. It's one of the most important things in the game. But when you have a blind layout in a field where you're going to be probably dropping some bodies pretty quick, sometimes at the same time, it becomes even more important.
Crucial, right? The teams that don't play as a team out here together, the teams that are forced to just play, kind of one-on-one paintball, are at a huge disadvantage. Thomas Kim, good read, gets out to the corner now into Snake 2 for Aftershock moving forward.
Yeah, Johnson aggressive getting into this 50-yard line, even down a body. But they need it. They're the ones that need to push into their
he got shot going in. Great cost shot there from Corey Hall. Makes the kill, calls the kill. Notorious dropping another 4-on-1 advantage for Shock. Notorious should probably concede this point.
Yeah, so going to throw the Talon, preserve the time, down by 2. But these points are going so fast that they still have, just a little under 6 to go. 5:48, 4:46, right around there. Infamous starting to stack up a little bit of a lead from the Ironman.
Well, I'd like to, kind of like we talked about yesterday, I'd like to see the Ironman switch gears and just start playing offensive here, right? Get those 3 guys that they have on the back line forward.
They have the personnel to do that.
They've got all the weapons. Send that fast kid through, have Geiger follow him up, and then have someone follow Geiger up.
Yeah, so it's going to be Sense, Guest, O'Mara, and is Lewis going to get another Geiger? Well, and Lewis, yeah.
And you know what's sorry, Matty. You know what's unusual is we never really talk about a match where O'Mara and Sense are playing and we're not bringing up their names, right? Like they haven't been a part of this match yet. They haven't got any key kills. They haven't stayed alive. 4-on-5 advantage for Infamous as the ref runs in to check another Infamous player.
Well, the Ironman's starting to push the issue on the D side, but it cost him Tom Guest's life as he got shot trying to get into D3. So good zone control now from Infamous. They switch gears a bit as Ryan Hall does take the early walk.
4-on-4, Matty.
Yeah, great field position, though, for the Ironman. Even losing Guest, and they get a shot.
Zach Patient.
Yeah, Zach Patient taking the walk from the D side.
4-on-3 advantage for the Ironman. No one D side for Infamous. This might allow the Ironman to turn that corner on the D side, man.
And Rich, there's no one in the Snake either. And this is, 3 bodies left alive, but they have no outside containment at all. They're all kind of essentially in the same line.
Yeah.
So not ideal.
You do not want to be sitting in the pocket when there's people on both tapes. You're just waiting to die, and there goes another one. Callie taking the walk out of this small Temple Snakes, leaving only 2 players left alive. And although Infamous has a 2-point lead here, obviously they don't want to lose these points. Joe Barrett taking a walk now. 4-on-1 advantage, Ironman.
Just Jonah Jamrose out here.
Wheeling and dealing, about to get shot in the back.
Yeah, they're not conceding it. They're letting Jonah see if he can create some magic. It's not going to happen, though. Yes, still no concession from him. I think Infamous just wants to maybe burn a little of that clock.
Yeah, they're up by 2, right?
Yeah, they're going to still be up by 2. They were up by 3, and 5:22 left.
Oh, that buzzer's just not working. Referee's over there pounding it. Hot Rod's going to get the call.
Yeah, so that makes more sense, right? Because I'm like, why is Infamous... again, as we say sometimes, we joke around, like, did Jonah miss practice?
Why do they hate that kid?
Yeah, why do they hate him so much? This is going to hurt. But apparently,
toughen them up a little bit.
bit of a malfunction with the concession buzzer.
I snuck a couple of their cookies yesterday. They were amazing.
Hey, once that shit goes down, would you slow down a little bit over there? Yeah. Hey, let's go again. Are you good or you want to play?
So Coach Mike asking for them to slow it down a little bit when the craziness sets in. I do kind of like that because, look, we want Ironman to play offense, right? They need to. They're down points. But also, if things are going well, you don't want your guys just running into guns.
You don't throwing away bodies, right? It's we say it 1,000 times before, but it's really, especially on this field, it's read and react, right? You can't have a perfect game plan out here. You can't guess what the other team's going to do all the time. You've got to be able to go out there, see what happens on the break, get your information out to your guys, and make quick decisions on what gives you the biggest advantage. Aftershock, losing one out of back center, Corey Hall, but shoots 2, so 4-on-3 advantage for Aftershock.
Thought they might be losing Johnson out of the snake, but
yeah, no, you got to check.
They are going to be losing Dyer.
Yeah, so it's a 2-on-4, I believe, as Shock is sharking up the field. I actually only see one Notorious player.
Well, Notorious going to concede. Yeah, I think we're going to set records for points played on this layout. Because it's about to be 6-3, and there's still 5:27 left.
We're record breakers.
Well, it's going to be relatively hot this weekend, depending on where you're from.
Yeah.
When I talk
depending on your perspective.
When I talk to the Southern boys or the Texans or somebody from Florida, they're like 87, bro. That's not hot. That's going to be great. I'm cool with that. It's also not that humid here.
That's sweater weather.
Yeah. Whereas you talk to somebody from somewhere else, they're like, oh god, it's going to be a little hot. But the point is if we're going to play a lot of points out here, if you're playing 10, 11 points every match you play,
you get worn out.
Yeah.
Especially if you played an extra day of paintball yesterday.
Yeah, because we did have to conclude the Lone Star Major yesterday. So if you played yesterday, just how deep is your team? It's so Legion took the win, right? But as soon as you move away from that starting 5, if something happens or they get too fatigued, slight little pull a hamstring, whatever, then you have to go to that bench. So we will see. Jumping into this next one here.
Notorious with dropping their Dorito attacker, Matty. 5-on-4 advantage for Ironman. No, 5-on-3 for Infamous.
No, Infamous losing 2, though.
Yeah. 5-on-3 advantage for Ironman here. Infamous down 2 bodies, shot 1 on the break. Another guy got quit. Oh, Ironman lose a body. 4-on-3 advantage as Geiger presses forward into the snake. That guy gets shot going into the snake, Matty, on the cross shot. Infamous down to 2 players left alive, I believe. The snake corner and the Dorito can. Ironman drop another body, and Zach Geiger, the body's just dropping left and right, Matty. I believe it's a 2-on-2 or 3-on. Oh, nope.
And another one, too. Now it's another body from the middle towards the D side.
Yeah, 2-on-2 now. Ironman kind of squandering a big body advantage there.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, I'm going to have to hold back some criticism because these guys haven't played this field yet, so there's a lot of these little angles that they may not know because this is the first game they've played out here.
Me being contrarian.
Mm-hmm. Yes, of course you are.
I'm going to say, no, these guys are professional paintball players. They should figure it out. Listen, if you get shot on the break, you get shot on the break. But if you make your bunker and you get shot out, we got to talk. 2-on-2, and this possibly could be Saturday evening or Sunday afternoon paintball where you have 1 or 2 guys on each tape, kind of deep on the field, trying to figure out where the other guy is, basically trying not to make a mistake, not trying to make any big moves. I think it is a race to this 50 snake over here, but once that area clears out, then it's who plays the best paintball, right?
Yeah, so things have slowed down a little bit in this 2-on-2 situation.
Ironman try to creep up that D side.
Well, again, with Infamous, they have this lead to protect, so it will be up to the Ironman to try to figure a way to move up this field. And Infamous is in decently defensible positions. I was just going to say that can is tough, though, and Ryan Hall gets Cyclopsed.
Yeah, he should have got out of there earlier. 2-on-1 advantage for the Ironman. Is that Tom Guest going through the middle?
Yeah, here comes Tom Guest. Trying to put the pinch on this last body. Joe Barrett, back corner.
Joe Barrett in a tough spot. Gets caught over the top, down the tape.
So Henry Sent's going to finish off Joe Barrett. And the Ironmen claw their way to only being down 1 right now with 2 minutes left to go. So this is a pretty good one here.
But 8 points in is the first time we said Henry Sent's name other than me saying Henry Sent's name based on the fact that we hadn't said Henry Sent's name.
Well, he was he had a little bit of an inconsistent day yesterday because he was their hero in one of their games, and then had a couple early deaths. I mean, it's paintball, man. You're going to get shot. But, yeah, if the Ironmen want to go deep at this tournament, he's one of their core guys.
For sure.
That guy basically never comes off the field, and rightfully so.
He's always in a position to help win or keep you from losing the point. He's always in that key pivotal role. O'Mara, again, kind of on the same level, and we haven't said his name either. Said Tom Guest's name quite a few times. Geiger, Nikolai.
Yeah, again, you can be bad cop, I'll be good cop. It's just, again, blind layout. Who's going to excel at this? We don't know. Everyone's just learning these angles, and it's just such a different mindset when you've had, again, 60, 70 spins
minimum
on a layout.
Yeah.
And then now you're getting, okay, what are we, 9 spins in?
9 spins in. It's the same, basically. I also like the blind layout, too, because it forces you to have all those fundamental skills, right? You don't have to just be good at one job or two job where the coach can kind of plug you in. Hey, on this layout, you do this well. On this layout, you do this well.
Yeah.
I like it where, hey, no matter what the layout is, you should have those skills to be able to read and react and play accordingly.
I'm a big fan of the blind layouts.
Yeah, me too.
So
Tom Cole just keeps messing us every year. Notorious dropping their first attacker up the center. Matty 5-on-4 advantage for Shock as two other Notorious players get checked. One is eliminated, so 3-on-5 advantage for Shock. Shock pushing up the middle. Oh, first person we've seen in that center structure. See how well this plays out. Oop, Notorious loses that snake guy. That hurt.
Yeah, it's looking not good for Notorious here in this point and in the game because, Shock really starting to build up this lead.
Yeah, it's a 5-on-2. Probably concede. I know you're down on points, but you probably concede this point, right?
I think so.
You want to save a little time, and you don't want your guys getting punished if you can avoid it, right? If you're up on points, you got to make them, eat it, suck it. Now it's 5-on-1. Definitely should concede this point.
Nope. It's going to let it play out. Now, spread is also, we got to start talking about spread.
Yeah.
We didn't need to talk about it yesterday because, it was a Sunday tournament. But you have to manage your point spread. So basically what that means is you have 4 games to work with, and 5 teams in each bracket. 2 move on as the top seeds, and then you get 2 wild cards. Historically, you need to be around 2 wins and 2 losses with,
+2.
Yeah, +2, +3 ideally, and then you'll be safe. And so I think that's what we're seeing right now. So Notorious doesn't want to squander this game or this spread and let it get out of hand, because if you take a mercy rule loss, you have to go back and get a mercy rule win in order just to get to even. And again, in even's not going to that's not going to work. So that's what we're seeing here. So
Chicago's throwing them kind of a bone, right? Because for me, on a no layout field, I want to get my guys as many spins on this first match or second match as I can. If I'm Shock, I'm like, hey, sorry guys, like I know you guys are trying to protect your margin, but I'm trying to learn this field. I want to get 5 more spins.
Rich, I hate saying this, but you're right.
Oh my God, Weber, write that down. Darren, write it down.
That's a very good point, my friend. Very good point. Yeah, if you're Shock, not only that, but if I'm Shock, you got to be careful because Notorious looked pretty tough in those first ones. But if my guys are starting to feel it, we're starting to figure the field out, I would love to get a mercy rule win on Notorious.
Yes,
because again, they are down some starters. And so if they may get mercy rule by some other team.
I was gonna say, and there's the softest team in your division, right? So there's a chance that someone's gonna do the same thing to you.
Well, technically, on paper, the ML Kings are the softest team in that division, because so it's Heat, Aftershock, Damage, Notorious, and ML Kings. And when you're looking at these divisions, the top teams are the top teams for a reason. They've been playing well for the first 2 events. But if Notorious and ML Kings are good at this event, then that's what makes the bracket very hard. But at the last event, we did see 3 of the top 4 teams from the first event not even make it to Sunday.
I doubt that'll happen again.
Which
now
means
crazy times.
Which now means it's happening.
Obviously. Sure. Ironman breaking out from blue side, Infamous from the red. Both teams going to that center wing there that they used to transition into the 50 snake. Interesting that both of those guys in the wings are looking D side now instead of looking snake side, which they've traditionally been doing. Infamous losing their first player D-side mat, 5-on-4 advantage for the Ironman. Looks like the game is starting to slow down a little bit, Matty. We're starting to see people playing these back rows.
Yeah, they're figuring out the angles a little bit more. Oh, but another body drops, and it's Tom Guest getting shot trying to move up.
Yeah.
I think that was Sam Silberg taking the early walk, and that's a great kill when you're playing Infamous these days.
Yeah.
Try to get that early shot on Sam.
For sure.
So the battle going down in the snake. As soon as somebody shoots their gun, probably the other guy's going to run him down. It's the new kid, Brody Lewis, in the snake for the Ironman.
Yeah, and he's had no problem getting there. He's gotten there at every single point. He's just got to figure out how to kill someone and stay alive. So far, he's been trading out.
He's been very proactive in here.
Which, you know, Shane's not going to hate a trade, right? If you can go up there and get a guy every point, Shane's going to be happy with that. 2 players taking a walk now, one for Memphis, one for Ironman. 3-on-3 battle now. Infamous a little bit more defensive postures in the Snake Temple, Dorito Can, and the Sentinel Temple with Ryan Hall.
Yeah, a little bit better field position. Well,
Yeah.
now much better. It's getting a lot better for the Ironman as they get that body in the snake, so they have the body up in the middle. And now that middle is rough if there's a body in the 50 snake, but if there's no one in the 50 snake and you got your opponents trapped in the back line or in the pocket, then the middle gets a lot better.
Yeah, that middle sucks. There's 9 bunkers up there that hardly anyone's ever going to use.
Well, the position that they're in right now, the Ironman, you can hide from the body in the Hertz 50 snake
100%.
from that side, but not on the other side and not at the actual 50 brick that's in the middle.
And no one's figured out any bounce shots yet.
But when you don't have, like, when you own that real estate, then the middle gets way more playable. So Amara's trying to get creative in here and figure out what he wants to do in that middle. He's got the body at the 50 snake right beside him.
Yeah, just got to try to figure out how to get from your 40 into their 40. Looks like he got shot going in. Looks like he kind of forced that move. We'll see.
Yeah, but he's trying to create right now. There's only 40 seconds left. They're down by 1. They got to try to make something happen, but it's going to be a penalty assessed there on Omara.
Yeah,
and that is probably going to be the coffin nail. It looks like Sense is going to walk off as well, too, and that should do it. So that's going to stop the clock at 30 seconds, but it's going to give Infamous a 2-point spread. So we're going to see one more point, and the Ironman might be able to, you can score a point in 30 seconds to make it, their spread a little bit better, but most likely Infamous is going to take this win.
Yeah. Amar not knowing he got shot there. The referee was signaling from the sidelines, but Amar continued to crawl forward, continued to improve his position. So when the ref ran in, they had to give him that penalty. Aftershock coming back out with Notorious. Aftershock with a nice, soft 4-point lead. No pressure on them. They can kind of use this as an opportunity to maybe figure out, hey, let's see if that game plan we were talking about, let's see if that works, right? We can go and lose a point here if we have to. We don't want to, obviously, but it gives us a cushion to be able to try some different things out. Can we run through the middle? Can we take Snake on the break? Can we take a big bite D-side? Shock 5 across the back.
Notorious right back into the snake.
Oh, Hosky gets shot going from the snake corner to snake 1. Got shot from that center tower. That center tower is such a good spot because you can catch that guy crawling in that snake because the middle of the field's so low.
Especially if you got a tall guy there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Nick Sloviak, Tom Guest, people of this stature, maybe Vince, should be in that tower shooting down into those cuts. Shock dropping another one.
Yeah, another body coming off for Shock from that D side. Al Fernandez getting a spin and taking the walk.
Notorious with 3 players up on the 40/50 now, Matty.
Well, Notorious can put this point up on the board, take it back to a 3-point spread, and then maybe get one more 2-point spread. That's not a terrible loss, right?
Yeah, Notorious just drops 2 bodies, Matt, with sloppily going into the 2 guns, and they allow LJ Parrish to get from the can out to Dorito 1. A-Rod still in the back center for Shock. Went from a 5-on-2 to now a 3-on-1.
Yeah, Parrish still alive. He got outside wide into D1.
And
more defensible position.
He's wheeling and dealing out there.
I just saw something spray off of him, though.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So referee going to get him, pull him out, and they're going to
pull
a minor penalty.
Started down a body. So they got nowhere to pull. It's not going to affect the score any.
Well,
I mean, it's not going to change the outcome of the game.
Well, yeah,
Notorious might get another
Shock's
point.
going to win this one. It will be a win, but again, if you're sitting on a 4-point spread, so for instance, they didn't let them run all that clock off. They let them run a little bit of the clock off just to kind of give themselves less time in case it goes bad, but it went well for them. Spread's getting a little bit more manageable. Now the Ironmen Shock's going to be down a body here, it looks like. So they're going to be, Notorious going to be on a power play. So they could get out of this with a loss, but with only a 2-point loss.
100%. Now, this is a close match, 4-5.
The Ironman Infamous match? Yeah, 4-6.
Just 2 points, not much time left, though. Ironman's back kind of against the wall here. Like to see some of that Tom Guest heroics going through the center of the field and see if he can draw some guns and make something happen.
Maybe Geiger or Lewis, snake side?
Yeah, 100% Geiger, 50 snake on the break. Guest right through the middle. Nikolai, Dorito 3.
It's going to be Lewis and Geiger behind him, so that seems to be the package for the Ironman on the snake side. But here comes the big push on the D side as bodies dropping from both teams. A penalty, red. I see a red flag. I see a yellow flag.
Lots of flags.
Yeah, so flags, both those penalties, looks like on the Ironman. Might have been the same penalty, though. Geiger's still alive.
Yeah, 1-on-2 advantage.
Just 13 seconds left to go. Geiger does get shot, but there was a major, I believe, and that's going to stop the clock. So there's going to be 16 seconds left. It's going to throw Infamous another point. Not how Ironman wanted things to go. You got to stay away from those majors when you're under 60 seconds. A major penalty under 60 seconds, immediate swing point.
Yeah, that was a little bit of a mistake there.
In the pits right now with Infamous.
We're back up. I'm just going to stay out there. Hey, the other team's up. The other team's up. Brian's ready to go, dude. Same prize to be ready to go. Go, you good? It should be a 16-second point. 16 seconds? Oh, I'm good, I'm good. Hey, same 5, get ready right now. Same 5, get ready. Where? Come past the Viper? No, he never. He got to it and stayed there, and I shot him in the face.
Listen, John's gonna figure it out. Just get ready to go, please. That way, if he calls your name, he's ready to go.
Then someone dropped over.
The guy ran the shot on the corner.
Oh yeah, because he's passing baby.
Listen,
just get stuff on the side here.
9 seconds. Just execute.
So Ryan Hall saying 9 seconds.
Yeah, Brett said 16, and now someone else is saying 20. So clearly we don't know exactly how much time is left, but somewhere in that range.
It looked, of those 3, I thought Brett was right, but who knows?
He's definitely the smartest of the 3.
20 seconds.
It should be more time.
10 seconds.
Drag your ass back out there. I'm ready.
I'm fucking ready too. Let's go. Listen, I'm ready to go.
So a minute and 40 still left in this one. As Shock on the blue side now. They're going with Hosky again. And able to get Paris. Paris has been doing a good job of staying alive and getting out up on that D side.
For sure.
Like the look we're seeing from Paris here in game 1 on this blind layout.
And I like that he's up on his feet, right? A lot of guys jump in those Doritos and just sit down and get super tight and lose all that vision standing up like that. Notorious, though, goes out to snake corner into snake 2 now, Maddie. Only person on the snake side.
Yeah, Magic out into snake 1. Crawling into snake 2. Posting up down that sideline, got a body in front of them at the 50-yard line. So they're pushing the issue here to try to, again, keep the spread a little bit more manageable.
Yeah, and, it's only a 3-point spread, and they've had 2 points that they lost from penalties, where a guy got shot and then they lost another guy. Oh, it went right past Hosky. Went from a great move to a terrible move.
Yeah, and again, Shock started this point down a body because of that penalty on Parrish.
4-on-4 here. They got Ryan Hosky playing inside defensively on that wing, and nobody expected that. They expected him to be in that 50 hertz bunker, so when they went to bunker him, there was nobody there. Just threw away that body. Notorious drops another body, D-side, Maddie, so 3-on-4 advantage here for Shock.
Down to 30 seconds. Magic up and over the top on his tippy toes. Pretty tall guy, can play over that brick. As Shock's going to move a body out. Back corner bunker, snake side. Notorious pushing the issue D-side. They get to the 50-yard line. And able to pinch out Hosky, couldn't stay alive from that angle. Magic's going to cut to the inside. He gets blasted.
Yeah.
Thomas Kim dicing people up from that back corner.
Yeah, Shock still got 3 across the back line. Dorito corner, snake corner, back center. LJ Parrish releases from Dorito 1, Dorito 2.
Yeah, but the time just expires, and Shock going to take, 3-point win here, 7-4. Going to be the final score.
Not a bad look for either of those teams.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're just joining us, Notorious is missing 3 of their starters, 2 of the real core ones. No Ty Bateman, no Archie Barnes Jr. And so, I mean, the fact that this game was as contested as it was in the beginning, I mean, they're 5 still getting it done. The roster's still getting it done. So, but Shock did what they needed to do.
Yeah. Learn
the field a bit. And, yeah, I mean, I like what we're seeing out of Parrish for Shock on that D side. Sure, he got that penalty, but there's no way. I saw someone break off of him, and the ref probably saw that too. That's why he got that penalty. But there's no way Parrish is the last guy left alive, experienced guy like that, is going to feel that hit
and play
when they have a lead.
Right.
That's just not a mistake you're going to see Parrish make. So probably legitimately did not feel that one. There's Parrish and Hosky.
And he's like, legitimately, guys, I didn't feel it.
So everybody listen up real quick. Hey, way to fucking come and play on a fucking field where we gotta know what the fuck idea is going on. Okay? Way to fucking execute, hold that shit, and fucking play together. Yep. Alright?
Hey, good call on the switch. That was a good setup. Thought I just played low
Hey,
there.
you're blowing up paint, right?
Hey,
Didn't stop shooting. It's just cool down.
Is that
yeah.
okay?
Cool down. Okay. Like, hey,
I looked over and I saw you blowing up.
Feel my gun.
Okay, I trust you. I just saw a flamethrower coming out. And I was like, we gotta get different paint.
And
I'm like, hey.
pretty happy Aftershock, as always, parental advisory. When we cut to the pits, and I thought we were going to get another point from this infamous Ironman match, but it looks like we are not. I think they must have been under 10. Looks like they're going to burn it off. Neither team wanted to play it, so that's going to do it here. Infamous taking a win over the Ironman, and Aftershock handling Notorious. Next up is going to be Tampa Bay Damage taking on the ML Kings. Impact playing New York Extreme here, 2024. First day of competition at the Mid-Atlantic Major. I'm Matty Marshall with Rich Telford here on Go Sports. We'll be right back.
There was only one on the ground.
Yeah, it's not good.
The game of paintball is a fast-paced, high-intensity sport. But at its heart, the concept is simple. Shoot your opponents before you get shot, and then march down the field to victory. In the Major League Paintball Pro format, each team fields 5 players at a time. They have a buzzer on their side to protect. Hit the opponent's buzzer, win the point. En route to the buzzer, both teams will be locked in gunfights, utilizing diverse strategies while moving up a field full of bunkers, fighting to get into critical positions. And these strategies could change given the score and the time left on the clock. There's 15 minutes in regulation, and the highest point total wins the game. If there is a tie, then a 5-minute overtime period will be played. This is chess with guns, with no quarter given and no quarter requested. Welcome to Major League Paintball.
I'm making plays. Y'all know where to find me. You be looking center stage. 24/7, we ain't never taking breaks. Got a lot to learn. Think you better know the game. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. Finally got the belt, now I think I'll give it back. At 24/7 grind, put me on the map. I think you probably should, cause study how I move, that's the fact. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. I got the belt, and I ain't gon' give it back. Yeah, y'all lit the match. I got the belt and I ain't gon' give it back. I'm making plays. And I can do this all day. You know I've been making plays. I'm making plays. And I can do this all day. You know I've been making plays. To the bank, yeah, they call me Showtime, y'all know who to thank. Got some pressure on, gotta do this real big, no thing. I'ma get the done, what do y'all think? Yeah, I'm making plays, y'all know where to find me, you be looking center stage. 24/7, we ain't never taking breaks. Got a lot to learn, think you better know the game. Stop and making plays. Yeah, I'm making plays. And I can do this all day. You know I've been making plays. Yeah. I'm making plays. And I can do this all day. You know I've been making plays. I've been making plays.
Ball here to talk to you about our SC custom jerseys. To start your team's design, head over to crbnpaintball.com, fill in some team information, including what colors, what template you want to base your jersey off of, upload your main team logo and any sponsors, enter your name and your number, and we're going to kick you back a 3D image of your jersey. The custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable. The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com.
What up, NXL? This is Mr. H, and our 2024 MAO NXL Atlantic City event shirt is available right now. If you're at the event, stop by the booth. If you're not at the event, no worries. Head to hcamry.com. It's going to be available right now till Sunday. After Sunday, you'll never be able to get the shirt again. Let's go.
Last year was amazing. Yeah. Electric tasing. I hear the belly so hard, even boy knows I'm caking. Been a star back then. Yeah. I'm a star right now. Yeah. So I find it funny when people call me a star in the making. Call me a birdman, I get don't get it twisted because I rhyme. I get paid for the nouns and ain't got time for the keyboard. Might see me in the rave getting down with the back of girls that get on mine. But it's okay, but it's all good. I get mine and she gets.
Brent is the one that selects everybody that he wants to have show up here at the NXL to represent himself, Air Assault Factory, and Carbon Paintball. We've got an assortment of guys now, kind of a rebuild from our semi-pro days. A pretty aggressive team. We usually identify our opportunities very quickly and then try to exploit them as soon as we can. I would say working with Carbon is unmatched in the industry. From the first day that we joined the program, I felt like I had a voice. I think the thing that sets Carbon apart is just the constant desire to improve. From the time that I get a product, I'm constantly getting bombarded with phone calls, text messages, emails from Walker personally, asking me my thoughts, asking me for my feedback, and I just don't think that you see that elsewhere. I've been at other companies and I've never had that type of interaction. Where you see other brands, they're putting their pro athletes up on the pedestal and they're the ones marketing the product, but at Carbon, you can get your photo up on the website and you can see yourself holding the new product and taking promotional shots, and it's just kind of a cool thing that puts their divisional athletes in the limelight. If you look around here at the NXL events and across the country at regional events, you'll see more and more teams showing up in Carbon jerseys, and there's a reason for that. They're innovating and making new products, which is great. I just think it's the best.
Hey, it's BRNT with CRBN, and I have our new IC PWR Nano barrel system here. This kit includes our famous ultra lightweight injected carbon fiber back with our new nano tip, which features over 700 microports. This microporting prevents any debris, paint, or moisture from entering the bore and also produces a unique low sound signature. These barrel kits are compatible with all PWR inserts, including our own series from 679 to 691, and are also compatible with all PWR inserts, including those made by Planet Eclipse, Dye, and Inception Designs. Check them out at crbnpaintball.com.
The Missouri All-Stars have been playing together out of Kansas City for about going on 5 years. Our play style is super aggressive. We like to just be in your face constantly, can just keep the gas going the whole time. D4 season, I had hit Walker up and was like, hey man, like, what's the situation with this carbon gear? It looks awesome. I would like to get my guys in it. And from right then and there, D4 season 4 years ago, he got us plugged in. We've been with him ever since. They're here at every event. They have gear that you can buy on hand. They have lenses on hand. If you have a tear in your knee pad, you need to swap that out. They'll have that for you. I've literally had Walker in my pit in Dallas asking me if I need help with pits. Like, you can't ask for anything more from a sponsor.
And we are back here, set number 2 in the prelims on day 1 here at 2024 Mid-Atlantic Major. Here at the NXL, watching Major League Paintball. And Matty Marshall got Rich Telford up here, and this set, Damage taking on ML Kings. Impact taking on New York Extreme. Who's it going to be? Tampa Bay Damage. So effective the past couple years and throughout their careers, but man, they've won 3 events and taken 2 second places in the past 2 seasons. They are going to be dropping a body early here, though, so it's going to be a 4-on-4. Rich, looks like a body dropping right now for the ML Kings.
Yeah, couldn't see if that was Peterson, but it was their first attacker D side. They lose their second attacker Snake side now. 3-on-4 advantage for Damage as Damage pumps down that D side.
Yeah, so Damage, effectively pushing up into that 50-yard line, but ML Kings have a body at this 50-yard line here on the Snake side. It's Carter Donaldson, and then Carter's going to get run down by Brian Smith.
Yeah, 4-on-1 advantage here for Tampa Bay Damage early in this first match.
Yeah, initially when it was 4-on-4, I was thinking, oh, okay, looking pretty good for the ML Kings, but tough survivability for him and some nice moves to clear out those first attackers. And it looks like, so Damage is not in a hurry to go hit that buzzer. Chad Bougier has now started to walk that way. No concession from the ML Kings. Maybe they watched that first set, Rich, and we're thinking
low margin, better margin.
Yeah, let's not. No matter what happens, we're not getting blown out.
I bet everyone's thinking that right now, right? With the blind layout, no one know what's going on. Let's just try not to lose any more points than we have to.
Yeah, I mean, lots of points were played in that first set. I mean, Infamous put up 7, Shock put up 7, and Ironman Notorious 4. So, yeah, it's Really don't want to be losing games by high margins here, because you have to win a game by a high margin. In the pits right now with Tampa Bay Damage, coached by Joey Blue. I mean, no, we're only 1 point in, but looked like Damage knew the field pretty well in that one.
Yeah, Damage is a really mature team, right? And when you're a really mature team, you're used to just playing with the flow of the game, right?
Well, it's also interesting, too, because Damage is a Florida team. ML Kings, you know, I mean, Charlie initially a team from the Czech Republic, but a lot of Florida guys on that squad, so they're very, very familiar with each other.
Yeah, it's a big brother, little sister team, right? It's a tough situation for the Kings for sure. See what NYX can get away with against New York Extreme. 5 alive for both squads. Both teams getting their first guy out to that 50 snake and that Hertz bunker.
Yeah, looking for a better performance out of Extreme as they've got a little bit healthier, had some problems with injuries, but they're going to be losing 2 bodies out of their spots, Rich.
5-on-3 advantage here for Impact. 5-on-2 advantage, or 4-on-2 advantage for Impact.
Yeah, so Impact going to be getting a body here into the snake.
Yeah, Impact went with a very defensive posture, but they were able to use that defensive posture to get 2 key kills out of the back line. Thomas Taylor and CJ Cantor taking the walk from their primaries. Can't have that happen to be successful out here.
Yeah, and especially because it's CJ and Thomas, and they're not typically guys that die out of their spots a ton.
Yeah, exactly. 2 players over here for Impact on New York side of the field, though.
Cornell trying to pinch out last body or one of the last bodies. Pat Kraft still in front of him. Cornell hears the gun, goes and dices up Pat, and is going to get a little 2-pack here to close. Backed up by his
cross shot on George McLean.
Fellow Canadian legend, Zach Yakimek.
So Impact losing 1 on the break, getting 1 bunkered out, but all the other 3 guys played perfect paintball.
It just came down to those 2. They lost. New York Extreme lost those 2 bodies. Lose CJ and Thomas.
3-on-2. Yep.
And then Impact didn't make any mistakes after that. Great job by JC there on your screen. This could be a real good snake for Justin Cornell.
Yeah.
Because he's definitely a guy, and a good one. So Zach Yakimek, he won an MVP by being, he's just such an amazing second attacker. It's one of those guys that's got high paintball IQ, always seems to be in the right place to back up his front players, and then JC is never scared to go. He'll go out and get shot 1,000 times in a day and still go right back after it. And then they got another guy, Mike Urena, that will do the same thing. So
you're on this and get put in, Mike? Mike, you're in this.
Tampa Bay Damage breaking up from the blue side. Go to standard breakout. 3 across the back line, 1 in the Dorito 2, 1 working his way into the Snake 50. ML Kings with 5 bodies live as well. They do take a big bite on the D side, but that player is eliminated with a cross shot from Keith Brown in the 50 Snake.
Yeah, we're going to see this a lot here. What you see on your screen is both teams have a body filtering up to that 50-yard line Snake.
Yeah, a lot of guys are going there early now and looking inside Matt to try to get a kill on the inside or the center of the field or the Dorito side, and then they're using a guy in that temple behind him to protect the guy from wrapping around the corner.
So it's Keith Brown versus Cardinal Donaldson, and there's that angle that Rich was just speaking on. So a 5-on-4 situation in favor of Tampa Bay Damage from the blue side, but a double stack of bodies for the ML Kings to deal with Keith Brown. So wouldn't mind. Well, I mean, ideally, if Carter could shoot Keith and stay alive, Carter's thinking about it. Donaldson wants to go.
Yeah, but it's hard for Carter to get Keith because of the protection from the 2 temples behind Keith that are both looking outside of the tape.
Yeah, he's got Rainey. And look over Rainey's shoulder. Rainey's just staring that way, so looks like he's going to go inside, bunker out Donaldson.
Yep. 3-on-4 advantage now for Tampa Bay Damage.
First to fill it's going to be the ML Kings, but here comes Tampa Bay. He's going to come around and actually get his man and potentially stay alive. Nope. No, he got caught too.
I believe it's a 3-on-2 advantage now for Tampa Bay Damage. Tampa Bay Damage with Rainey and Snake One looking inside.
And this Snake side really is war of attrition.
Yeah, it's the 3rd guy on this side who's going to win a lot of points.
Yeah.
The 1st and 2nd guy are just getting people out of the way. And honestly,
I hate to say it again, Rich, but you were right.
Yeah, it finally happened, Matt. 30 years now, I finally have been right.
That's like twice in just 2 sets.
In 30 years, yeah, it's incredible.
You must have had your coffee and got a lot of sleep last night.
You know what? It's the fact that they didn't feed me this morning. They said, hey, no breakfast for staff, so it just keeps me fasting and it keeps the brain just pumping. Rainey looking to get creative in that Snake One. He was inside, now he's outside. He's working crossfield with Jason in the can and the drill. Oh, bad death there from the player in the 50 Snake for Notorious. Didn't see the cross shot there. Good comps from both teams, calling 100s on me. That means the Dorito 1 is on Rainey. That means the gun's going this way so that there's an open move on the D side or the outside. Looks like the last player is being eliminated now for the ML Kings. I believe that's Peterson running off.
Yeah,
you know, sorry, go ahead.
No, I was saying it. I like, again, just a couple engagements here, but Damage is already playing damage ball. Aggressive when they need to, but they're slowing it down just enough that they're really able to isolate, figure out where everyone is. It's just real 2 good solid points here for Tampa Bay.
I don't want to take anything away from Tampa Bay because they are one of the 2 best teams in the world, but this isn't even, to me, like a fair match for them just because they're so comfortable against the ML Kings. These guys play at the same field every single weekend, either in a team format or a one-on-one format. Every single guys on the ML Kings know that, hey, man, the Tampa Bay guys beat us every single time we play, right? So it's great for Tampa Bay to go out and have a match where Joey doesn't have any stress, right? Hey, just go out there, read and react. You know that you're beating up on your little brother. It's no big deal. Have some fun. We'll figure some stuff out, right? Whereas ML Kings are like, oh, man, this is really hard. We got to go beat these guys who beat us all the time. We know that they're better than us. We've got to do something above and beyond what we've done before. Different scenarios for both teams there.
Yes, we're in the pits. Let's hear Rainey and Keith having a conversation.
Are you and Jared good? You know what you're doing?
Someone hop on here. I saw it. So I ran.
Josh Taylor getting his first spin since that injury in Vegas.
Yeah, good to see Josh back. Just good to see more of these extreme guys healthy again.
CJ Cantor taking a walk early again from New York Extreme. That's 2 points in a row.
Yeah, he got shot trying to get to a spot, and the Taylor tries to fill it, and he gets diced up as well, too. So great zone control here for Edmonton Impact.
Yeah, back center play for Impact is hit. Now finally leaves. 3-on-4 advantage for Impact.
Yeah, it's Jarula taking the walk as they're going to filter a body out. So Impact gets a body to D1 and a body out back corner bunker snake side. But Urena getting clipped there. So now decent zone control here for Extreme.
Yeah,
I think definitely needed that kill. Is that from the 50 Snake?
D2, I think.
Oh, D2?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a coast-to-coast shot. So here comes the attack from Jared Carl. So Jared Carl is going to trade out with Zupa.
I believe it's a 2-on-2, Matt. If I'm not missing a button. Oh, nope. As PK tries to crawl forward from the corner, gets caught. It was a 2-on-2, now it's a 2-on-1. I do like the fact that he was switching from defense to offense there, trying to take advantage of the fact there was no one on the tape in front of him, just got caught from the cross shot. George McLean in the D2 against 2 Impact players.
Yeah, that wasn't so much a bad death for Pat as a really good shot for Impact.
Yeah. George in a tough spot here against 2 Impact players, both outside of him. Oh, George gets one of them.
Oh, Dalton,
one-on-one.
Dalton gets eaten up by George McLean. What a one-on-one, our first one-on-one of the day. Got a red and gold coin cursive coin duel in Hormesis.
Yeah, George is really coming into his own. He's becoming one of the better gunfighters and drill kind of players on the team.
I think he just got him, too.
I think he just got him again. George McLean with a 2-on-1 pull-off. This is what New York Extreme needed to get back in this match. That's why we do the drills, George.
George McLean in a 1-on-2. I have a 1-on-2 coin.
It's funny. I just told Dan this morning, I was like, George McLean is 1 or 2 events away from being like a premier player in this league. You know, he's just got to get that, whatever that little last niche of experience is.
So that was Rob Velez and Dalton Vanderbilt for Impact. And George McLean shot them both and unaware of the count, though, with all the bodies dropping. So
yeah,
he's being extra safe out
People
here.
have been running at him left and right.
Yeah. Oh, hey, man, George, you did a great job.
Every time I look at my bunker, there's a guy with a brown jersey ring at me.
George, take all the time you need,
Exactly.
bud. All the time you need. You did all the work you needed to do. You're the hero of this point.
Good job, Georgie.
And that keeps him in the match, so we're going to see a concession. Yeah, didn't even have to run.
That's got to make George, and that's got to make George's teammates feel pretty good right now. Right back in this game. 0-0.
Yeah, so got ourselves a tie ball game courtesy of George McLean. And that's going to be, somebody's going to take a ear beating in there in the Impact pits.
Yeah, for sure. I think there's going to be 2 or 3, right?
Yeah.
Because they were up that whole game, or that whole point.
It's still early in the event, but, when Bart Yakimek, owner of Impact, gets frustrated at his guys, for whatever reason, call that a Bart attack. It's like a heart attack, but it's Bart yelling at you instead.
I feel like Bart would be more pivotal if he was just disappointed. Like if you disappointed Bart, that would hurt more than him yelling at you.
I'm not mad at you. I'm just very disappointed.
Oh, 2 bad deaths there for Tampa Bay Damage, losing one on the break, and then the player going to the can. I think it's Chad lost his hopper, went back to got it, get caught. So 5-on-3 advantage here early on for ML Kings, which is exactly what they need to get back in this match against their big brother team, Tampa Bay Damage. ML Kings now 3 across the back, 1 in that central wing that's so important to fill the Hertz bunker on the 50-yard line.
Yeah, you can see just a way better spread for the ML Kings right now as Damage does have that 50 snake, but the ML Kings got to figure that. Oh, but the ML Kings dropping a body out of the backfield. Out of that. Again, it's a small bunker, but that's a great kill for Damage. Now only a 1 body advantage for the ML Kings, but Rich making a big move to that 50-yard line.
Yeah, you know, when all the guns are this way, you got to go, right? And it's really important on that D side to read and react to pressure, right? If you're not getting the pressure, if all your snake guys are getting the pressure, you need to go forward, take some of that pressure off of your snake guys. Oh, running referee. Tampa Bay Damage like they didn't get a penalty there. Damage dropped another body. Well, there's 2 left now.
Yeah, well, Rich, like you were saying, there's no gun on him, right? There was 1 body looking that way, but it's from the 50 snake, and he just didn't have that angle with the wedge and the brick and just blocking out his shot.
Yeah, Jason Edwards wheeling and dealing in a 4-on-2, gets his way into that Dorito 1. Donaldson coming up to get the cross shot. First person we've seen kind of play that center bunker first so far.
Yeah, the center's been relatively barren of moves.
You know how bad those bunkers are if nobody's playing them.
The one thing, as we're watching Donaldson do it right now, though, is it could be a good place to close. So Donaldson goes through, gets the kill.
ML Kings looked good at that point.
They did. That was, other than the death out of the back center.
Yep.
That was about it.
Yep.
Other than that, it was a really well-played match, or well-played point for them.
Shot 1 on the break, didn't make any mistakes, got another lucky kill, and then we're able to capitalize by only losing that, like you said, sloppy death out of back center. Man, beautiful weather here in Atlantic City. Beautiful backdrop, all the hotels, casinos in the back. Matt made like $60,000, $75,000 last night.
I wish.
Unless you're the tax man, then he didn't make anything. But yeah, he was killing it at the tables last night.
Yeah, I wish. It was the opposite. I was trying to teach somebody how to play craps. Did not go my way.
This is how you give the casino your money. You roll the dice like this.
Normally it does not go this bad. I promise. I'm telling you, it's fun. I just swear.
If you want to learn how to play roulette, hang out with Bo Milo. He will teach you all the systems. 32, 32, 32.
So in the pits right now. Charlie Gibbons talking about ear beatings is giving one of his boys a little ear beating.
After winning that point, I love it.
Not good enough.
Looks like 5 life for both teams. Big run. JC goes around the outside, gets into Snake 2, but then goes over the top and gets shot. Kind of a sloppy death there. 4-on-5 advantage for New York Extreme as Thomas Taylor fills into the Snake corner. Jerry Carlos fills into the Snake 50.
Yeah, this is another ideal situation here for Extreme with a 1 body advantage, and they have the 50 Snake. Impact's at the wedge here. You can see here the battle going down, but this is definitely Extreme's point based on the current situation. See if
Impact did get into Dorito 2, Matt, and they just filled in the Snake corner as well. Oh, wow. Impact with 2 players out to D side now. D3 and D1, Matt. I don't know if anyone in New York is looking D side, but Impact's looking to get back in this game by pushing through that side.
Yeah, Brandon Cornell put himself in a better position.
Oh, Jerry Carl, what a move.
Did he shoot him, though? Jerry Carl now in a treacherous spot. Did not get that man.
Wow, that guy just got away with it because what Jerry did was shot his hopper as his pod as he was loading. The player just drops his pod. That was clever. 4-on-4 now. Jerry tossed it on his body there. Doesn't get the kill. Like the aggression, but got to get the payoff. Impact pushing up into D2 now, Matty. CJ Canner again dying early. That's 3 points in a row.
Yeah, I think this is... So Laval's out wide for Impact, and I think that was Zach that was able to matrix his way out of not dying in that spot.
Yeah, I believe it's a 3-on-3 now, Matt. Impact pushing that. No, 4-on-3 advantage Impact as they push into New York side of the field on D's.
Yeah, this is one that New York Extreme is going to want back. It was a 5-on-4. They had position, but then Impact's going to shoot Pat Kraft. It does cost him Brandon Cornell's body.
3-on-2 now. 3-on-1.
Yeah, it was a tough one. Good job by Impact, though. Great job by Zach to not get shot from Jerry and attacking Jerry Carl. When Jerry Carl's on, man, New York Extreme gets really scary. Yeah. I like that move from Jerry.
Of course.
But he's not a guy we need to, take a cattle prod, too, to get him to play aggressive. His natural state out here on the paintball field is push forward. But Zach was just able to stay alive.
Yep.
So
he actually shot, look from my perspective, like he shot Zach in the pod as he was loading, and Zach just immediately obviously dropped the pod and leaned in.
Yeah, for sure.
Jerry saw that flash and then went across the gap and he was like, oh, wait a minute, that guy's still alive.
Yeah, and once he got to that position, there was no place to hide from that crossfield angle.
Yeah.
And I also like that Pat Kraft was right in there with him, too.
Me too.
Staying close. So,
100%.
Pat, I love when Pat's playing on his toes, right?
Yeah.
Thinking, I need to push forward, let's make something happen instead of, let me try to win a gunfight from the back corner.
Tampa Bay Damage losing one on the break.
Yeah, it's Rainey. Big gun coming off right now for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, 5-on-4 advantage for ML Kings.
A little bit longer points in this second set here, so 8:46 to go. ML Kings with Carter Donaldson right back into this 50 on the Snake side.
Yep.
Got a body behind him, 2 in Snake 1, outside wide.
Yep, Kings with 2. Damage with just Keith Brown. Good comms from both teams, trying to figure out where the bodies are. 5-on-4 advantage here for the Kings. They've got 2 Snake side, 1 in the center tower, 1 in the Dorito, 1 back center. Back center player for the Kings needs to get out of that position. He's out of play. That spot, that back center's got no shots D side, and it's got no shots on the Snake side. It's great over the top in the beginning, but if you see a guy playing that point for a long time, it's because he's trying to avoid moving somewhere, not because he's trying to do a job. ML King's doing a good job. Just got to find out where the damage players are, right? They got to keep damage from getting out to the D side. Looks like Keith Brown might have got caught. Oh,
yeah,
he didn't get a penalty there.
Yeah, but ML King's losing a body from that South Electronics tower. So trading bodies, out of bunkers. But the kill on Keith was more important, though.
Crucial.
Because ML Kings have outside contain now, and there's no one to try to deal with these 2 bodies, so that's going to give Donaldson some free reign to get across this gap.
Yeah, so nice just to be able to dip in their Snake now, have someone behind you, have someone inside you, protecting you. Tough spot for Tampa Bay Damage here. That can is very vulnerable, Matt. If they shoot at that can from the Dorito and say, oh, Donaldson, the sloppy shot against Jason Edwards.
When you get in that position with this much time on the clock and you're only down 1, you know you're taking a lot of pressure. Just hang out in there for a good 30, 40 seconds.
Yeah, you're not trying to force to kill the guy, right? You're trying to force that guy to make a mistake by putting so much pressure on him.
If there was 40 seconds left, yeah, sure, Carter, you got a battle, right? But
yeah, all you're trying to do is draw that fire, get someone else to have a shot on his pack or his hopper, edge of his goggles. Just trying to absorb that pressure. You don't want to get in a gunfight with those guys. ML Kings with 2 on the 50 now. That hurts 50 and the wing on the D side and back center wing. So we got a 3-on-2 situation here. Tampa Bay Damage is dug in. And the move that Donaldson made was the right move to cross that gap to get onto their side of the field. He just didn't capitalize once he got there. Got to stay alive. Also, though, right now they can kill the Dorito side can if both tapes wrap and put pressure on Jason Edwards because it's a very challenging bunker to play with people outside of both tapes.
yeah, but the ML Kings, the bodies they have left on the field in the middle, on that wedge D side, and here in the Snake 50, playing very tight.
They are. I don't know if you can hear him, but I can't hear him talking.
I can't really hear him talking either. But they do get the kill.
Yep. 3-on-1 now.
Oh, they allow. Got out a little wide.
3-on-2. They missed damage player over there in D2. Oh, but he misses.
Yeah, it was Chris Horn.
Chris was so small over there. I thought they had 3, but no, I can't see a third body.
So crafty.
Yeah, and all of a sudden Chris Horn runs up the field.
That was a well executed. The only mistake the ML Kings really made was the Carterson's over battle.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yep. Yeah, if he had just laid down there and let the cross can shoot at him, the guy behind him in the Hertz bunker could have come up and shot that hopper.
And again, there was 7:30 on the clock at that time,
Only
so
down
no reason to battle for Carter in that specific spot. Again, if there's a minute left and you're down 1, sure, you have to engage. And if you get shot in that engagement, that's fine because you're doing what you're supposed to do given that moment.
Interesting. CJ Cantor's going back out there again.
Yeah,
struggling so far, 3 points in a row.
We're in the pits right now with ML Kings. I like what we saw at Kaya in that last one. So yeah, impact, extreme squandering a high body situation in that last one. Would like to see CJ Cantor get out and stay alive.
Yeah, we need a game from CJ and from Josh.
Ooh, kind of heavy guns off the break here for Impact as they stay in those blind zones to try to shoot some gaps, and it looks like they might have got a kill. No. Okay, now I thought for a second.
Pat Kraft taking the walk. Josh Taylor coming over quickly. Thomas looked fast getting to that 50 snake.
Yeah, battle going down. Zupa for Impact and Thomas Taylor for New York Extreme. They're going to come and blast each other, trade out that body.
4-on-3 advantage now for Impact.
Yeah, but Impact Rage has, I think that's Drula crawling up here.
Yeah, and that all-important snake.
Yeah.
And then CJ's still in that can over there on the D side. He's got to look to get out of that can. Very vulnerable in that position with Zupa there, yeah.
Another CJ Cantor dying out of a spot again.
I need someone on New York Extreme's pit to look at me.
Yeah, so here Edmonton Impact filtering bodies out on that D side to get in a little bit better position, try to find these last 2 bodies here for Extreme. Were you trying to gesture down there saying, hey, sit, CJ?
Yes.
Well, that's the question, right? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of divisional coaches out there. When do you sit one of your core guys? Like, when does that happen? Right now?
Look, you get a shot, right? You get a chance to go and do your job. You don't do your job, you get another chance to go out and do your job. If 3 points in and 4 points in, you're dying first, you're not doing your job, then you're stealing someone else's spot and you're hurting your team.
I guess it depends. You know, so if you're Legion right now, if you're Red Legion, regardless of how many times Sergey dies in a row, I'm probably not going to the bench to take Sergey off. But because you guys have another guy that can play, you know, like Josh can play CJ's spot and then bring somebody else in.
Yep.
Well, we're in the pits right now. Let's listen in here in Extreme.
We lost PK off the break.
I died off the break. Hey, they win New York. They win New York that time.
Tied up 2-2 here. Kings hanging with Tampa Bay.
Kings getting a check, but looks like he's okay.
Both teams dropping a body here. It's 4-on-4.
Oh, yeah, both guys losing that D-side guy, Matty.
Jacob Edwards does get out into D1. ML Kings just built into that spot as well, too, so it's mirrored up with Tampa Bay damage. Getting the body into the snake. Snake 50.
And I really have a lot of respect for the ML Kings right now because they're playing a good game against Tampa Bay Damage. And A, Tampa Bay Damage is one of the top teams in the world, but B, again, these guys are in their head, right? They play every single weekend, and no matter what you think, like, you know, mentally it makes a big difference when you're used to losing gunfights, you're used to losing points against a group of players. You have a lot of respect for them. But ML Kings, man, they're doing really, really well. They're finally listening to what Charlie tells them to do. Finally, after all these years.
Yeah, so, this is a big moment for both squads in game number 1 in this bracket. Under 5 minutes to play.
Here comes Donaldson. Slow filling up into the snake.
Yeah, it's better field position for Tampa Bay. Ooh, look at this. They're going to do a little tactical retreat, maybe set a trap. So as Lackey pushes back, so Donaldson's going to run through, bunker nobody.
But stays alive. They don't know
is he going to get him through the inside? He comes around and gets pushed back. He's got to go right back into his gun, so Donaldson having to do some work.
Good job, Donaldson. I love that. That's the way I want that kid playing all the time. Go up, get somebody out the field.
Yeah, he's another guy that when he's playing offense,
yeah,
sure, he overbattled into a death, but I want him kind of thinking offense, right?
100%. All gas, very little break.
So ML Kings with a body to reposition to get to this 50 snake.
People really don't understand how important it is to have those tips of the spear players, right? Those guys who draw the guns and take the pressure off of you so that you can make those key moves or those key kills. Raining out with a great sneaking move from Snake 1 to Snake 2. Reposition there from 2 ML King players. Kyle Berry going back to play defensively. Might have known Rainey went forward. 3-on-2 advantage here for the Kings. Kings in Dorito 1, Dorito 4, the Snake Wedge. Tampa Bay Damage in back center, which is a very strong bunker to fight out of. And Snake 1 might look to see the back center player for Damage getting out of that bunker if at all possible, just because it's such a tough bunker to play. Those little nipples are more for decoration, really, than anything else. You want to, like, liven up a room, you put one of those little nipples. Oh.
Yeah, it's a big dude in a small spot.
Yeah, you don't ever see. Who's that taking a walk in? You can't see.
That's Brian Smith.
Wow, Brian Smith. And I thought it was Brian Smith. I'm like, he's supposed to be up the center of the field. He's in the snake. What happened? So, Tampa Bay Damage taking a walk.
Yeah, and that just left big Jason Edwards in that tiny little cake in the back center, trying to get as small as he possibly can. So the ML King's going to take a lead here. This is talk about building confidence. Rich, you were speaking on this earlier. These are 2 Florida teams. They played each other a ton. Damage is going to get the better of the ML Kings in their history. So if the ML Kings can step up in competition and beat Tampa Bay, that's a huge boost of confidence.
Huge.
Not only to put a win on the board here to give yourselves a chance to make Sunday and make a run at this tournament, but you're beating a team you're very familiar with that's got the better of you over the years.
And because you're like a local team, it's kind of like a tryout too, right? Hey, Joey, I don't know if you noticed this or not, but you play your guys a lot. I shot a lot of your guys. Maybe you'd like to pay me. See if New York Extreme can get back in this game. Tough playing a field you've never seen, never played before. Good breakouts from both teams. Impact losing their back center player on the break there. Oh, Impact going to the center of the field. That's the first time we've seen anybody kind of up in that area.
Yeah, Jerry Carl in a good spot. Got Thomas Taylor behind him.
Oh, he gets Jerry Carl because no one expects him to be in there, right?
Yeah, we have not seen this move yet, so Impact showing us something creative, something brand new.
See if he'll catch Thomas too, or if Thomas can figure out that there's a guy behind him. There's a guy in between Thomas and Josh Taylor. If the two Taylor brothers would just look at each other.
Thomas going to go around and trade out.
Looks like he gets him.
Oh, and then we're going to lose another body as well, too.
Pat Kraft struggling again, going from that corner inside. Now the Impact player, I think that's Laval, going to look inside and get 2 kills on New York. Oh, no, George sees him. Gets that kill.
New York Extreme, but they lose Josh Taylor as well, too. So they're talking about a war of attrition, man.
Just another 2-on-1 for George McLean.
Oh, he's got it in the bag. He just showed us he can do this already.
Actually, that might be Will. I can't see it so far.
I think that's George.
Yeah. Again, another point New York is going to want back, right? Should have easily won that point, had all the bodies, had all the positions. Let one guy come in and shoot 3 key guys.
Well, Impact with this 2-on-1, they lost one of these already to George McLean. But Cornell getting closer, Brandon Cornell. And they have the field spread.
Yeah, last time George had a little bit of gift because they were lined up.
But the bodies did come off so quickly in those war of attrition trades that I don't know if everyone knows the count. George is looking for it.
I love that George is looking for it. It's a 2-on-1. If he waits there, they have the advantage. He's trying to take an advantage, trying to get to a better position.
Well, if he can find a way to block out Zach,
yep,
then he make it the drop on Brandon, because Brandon is totally focused down the sideline. He's waiting for George to engage out of a Dorito, and he's not there. So George...
They found him, and he's got reposition. Good reposition there from George. But off of that, the good read over this side swings all the way to 50 Snake over here.
That's a nice cleanup here from Zach Yakimek.
Yeah. That's why Zach's probably one of the best 2s in the business, especially Snake side. And that guy's really good at reading and reacting and cleaning up.
So spread's going to be an issue here for Extreme. 7 minutes left to go, but Extreme's got to be careful not to take a loss as we're sitting 4-1 right now. Again, when I say spread and talking about taking a loss, it's starting to go Impact's way, and you do not want to get as a 6-point mercy rule. You play 4 games. If you lose by a large deficit, well, then you have to win by a large deficit just to get back to even. Let's listen in here to Big Dave Maines and his boys.
You heard me say 2 things? Yep, and I heard you ripping it. America, Ross, this is Rob. Actually, this would be
Man, ML Kings beating Tampa Bay Damage right now with just a little under 3 to go.
Damage 5 alive. They get to Dorito corner and the Snake 50. ML Kings are able to get out to D1, although he's getting a check and the Snake corner. So 5 alive for both teams here. 2 people on this side for the Kings. I feel like that gives them advantage. D1 is shot out. Oh, and a penalty. That's going to kill the Kings. They cannot get penalties out here.
Yeah.
3 on 5 now, Matt.
Yeah, that is just a bad mistake in a very crucial moment. They still have 3 bodies left alive, but it's a 5-on-3 in favor of Tampa Bay. And Tampa Bay has 2.5 minutes to work with. They're real good in these moments. They're real good at seeing the variables. Oh, Keith Brown's just going to bully his way down, bunker out that body. That's a great trade.
Yeah,
when you have a 5-on-3 and a guy's in the thorn in your side, just get him off the field.
That's super easy math, right? Those are the kind of math problems we're looking to solve.
Yeah, I'd love the 4-on-2 is just as good as 5-on-3. It's even better, actually, because we already got another kill. We still have a 2-body advantage.
Smash that down to a 3-on-1 if you have to. Smash that down to
a little tactical retreat here from Kyle Berry as he gets taken out. And so good zone control on these last 2 bodies for Tampa Bay. As Damage is going to tie it up, going to be 3-3 with probably around 1:45 by the time Markey gets in there. Nice. So interesting, too. Joey's playing for everyone. We've seen Lackey. We've seen
Smith.
Markey Island. We've seen Chris Horn. I mean, Tampa Bay Damage did win a tournament in Texas a couple years ago, running 2 solid lines the entire time. And that had not happened since Impact did it, like, 10 years ago.
Yep. New York's going to look back at this matchup to this point and see that there's 2 points that they should have won, and this score should be much different than it is.
Closer. The points are close. Impact's just a little scrappier right now.
Yep.
And also a little bit better survivability because CJ Cantor has taken the early walk multiple times. He's not the only guy that's died out of his spot, but
he's setting the standard. See if New York can get back in this match. Impact's been too much for him so far. One bright light out there has been George McLean. Impact all the way to D2 on the break, Maddie. 5 alive, 3 in the pocket, D2. Stream's going in that inside cut where Laval was last time. Oh, and he catches someone. Referee's coming in.
Another body coming off.
2 more bodies.
Great zone control on these, protecting these secondary moves for New York Extreme right now.
And really good play call going up the middle there.
Impact gets a body all the way up into D3.
Yeah, it's D3 and Snake Temple. Some people call that the God. The insert bunker that gets you into the snake or snake corner. Urena gets out to the snake corner. Oh, taking the walk is Pat Kraft from the back again. Pat and CJ struggling here today. Oh, Thomas with a bad read there. Luckily, did he not get shot?
It might be penalty assessed here. It's going to be a minor on New York Extreme, which is going to pull out Josh Taylor. But Taylor just shot Dalton, and that leaves McLean as the only body left alive. So it looks like Extreme is going to claw their way, and after a little bit of a move madness out here. But as the dust settles, McLean.
Once again, George McLean.
George McLean is having a game.
Now, I've been telling people for a couple seasons. In fact, I've even been telling George for a couple seasons. When he can play as well in the games as he can play in the drills, like, the mental difference between the two, he's going to be a force.
So wait a second. I've worked with you for a long time, and we played on some good teams together.
Yeah.
So you're telling me you told your players something positive?
I did. Yeah.
Wow.
Dude, it's a whole new Rich Telfer, bro. I'm trying everything.
Your daughters have made you soft in your old age.
Yeah, they probably have. I think one of my daughters is going to show up around here tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Shelby's going to come out, I think.
Cool.
We probably won't see her, but, if she's around, I'll bring her up. You can say hi.
Bo Milo getting a read on the scoreboard here. Bo is very familiar with managing point spreads.
And margins. You think Joey thought it'd be this close of a game?
No.
I didn't think it'd be this close of a game.
He should have got a major. I shot him the second he popped the top.
Close match right now. Just a minute and 41 seconds left. Who's going to win this break? Both teams losing a body. It's going to be 4-on-4 here, Rich.
4-on-4, but damage is in the key spot earlier, that 50 hertz bunker.
Ooh, can the ML Kings get out of that back center? Might have caught a bouncer. Looks like he's good to go.
Yep, hard bounce off the head there.
Tampa Bay body at this crucial 50-yard line snake spot.
Yeah, this point is over because there's no one snake side for ML Kings. That was a big mistake from the read and react from those guys. Donaldson looks like he got caught. Careful, Matty Paint's coming in.
I've had to dodge a few.
Yeah, 2-on-4 advantage for damage here. 1-on-4 advantage for damage. Just a D1 for the Keith.
But Keith Brown getting shot out. But it looks like a concession because even though, Keith did his work already.
Still 3-on-1.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay Damage sounds like they got a little life back in them.
Well, the thing, look, they've had a lot of success. They've had a lot of success the past few years. 3 wins, 2 second places. And, they're playing a team that on paper they should be beating the brakes off. And this is why they're so pumped up. But if they emerge out of this with a win, they've learned a lot about this field. They've already gotten ratcheted up their intensity and their motivation to go and try to perform at their peak ability
100%.
In this brutal bracket that they're in. The top teams, Heat, Aftershock, and the Damage. I mean, anytime you have Damage as the third-tier team,
New York with a little bad start there. Didn't look like they knew what the hell was going on. Thomas and Josh Taylor both sitting in back center. Josh Taylor getting shot out. I don't know what New York was doing on the break there. do get a kill, though, so 4-on-4 as JC takes the walk for Impact.
Still a decent amount of time left in this one, Rich. 5:16 to go here.
Oh, Impact all the way to D3. That's a big bite.
Impact gets Reeser out there. Cornell already out in that spot. And here comes Extreme. Tries to answer, getting a body to the wedge. But here comes the push down the sideline right now for Edmonton Impact. Bowling their way down on the D side, and they get a shot on Thomas Taylor.
Wow, I can't believe Thomas didn't get his gun up. Interesting. Jared Carr up now in Snake 2 for New York. New York with Dorito 1, Snake 2, and the Snake insert. Impact all the way on New York side of the field. Jace Carr sees him there, but doesn't get the kill.
Oh, there goes George McLean. He's going to launch. Is McLean going to be the hero again here for New York Extreme? Keep them in this match. He just ate up one body. Oh, but he got caught, so didn't know there was another one in front of him.
Yeah, it was a 3-on-3, now a 3-on-2. Advantage Impact. Oh, Pat Kraft again taking the walk from the back line. Jared Carr, the only player left alive for New York, but there's 3 Impact guys left alive. 3-on-1 here.
Yeah, Impact's just doing a better job of staying alive. They're making better moves. I mean, you can't leave it up to McLean to be the hero in these points. Yeah, you can see Impact's also learning this. Impact's one of the best teams to ever play the game. They've done a lot of winning in the past 15 years or so, and nothing but all-stars on that squad. You don't get the call from Dave Baines in the offseason to come play for that team unless you were an absolute murderer on the your previous team. And so you can see they're really starting to figure out these angles, what's working, what's not. And after Impact not making it to Sunday for the first time in, I believe, 14 years in Texas, they've got to be hungry here at this one to try to get out there and perform at their peak ability. Tampa Bay, 1-point lead still. About 1 minute, 2 seconds left to go here. See if ML Kings can shoot bodies on the break. They're going to get one. Shooting that D1 player, trying to make it out wide. And, yeah, it's Chad Bougier, and he was talking about phenomenal players. He's been really good for him for a long time on that D side, so that's a great kill.
Well, as soon as they shot him, Tampa Bay understood how important it was to get out there and immediately fill that bunker. ML Kings, if they had better zone control, would have had another kill that it would be 3-on-5 instead of 3-on-4. Just a little bit more discipline on that zone control. Tampa Bay Damage in great defensive positions now. D1, the center wing, the back center, and the snake insert. Donaldson just jumping over the top of the bunker just to try to find where the bodies are. 47 seconds left. 1-point game.
Yeah, ML Kings in position to attack. They have that body in the middle, and then 2 bodies in the snake structure. Carl Johnson. Oh, they lose the body in the middle, though.
And they lose Kyle Barry.
And there's only 7 seconds left. The cardinal sin of paintball is to be alive in your bunker when time expires. And that's about to happen to a couple players here on the ML Kings. I understand you're worried about margin, but you have an opportunity to try to attack.
Yeah, at least try to give yourself a chance, right? You're definitely not going to win by not going forward.
So Damage escapes disaster as the ML Kings, the lowest ranked team in this division, with Heat, Aftershock, Damage, Notorious, and the ML Kings. And so they squeak out a 1-point victory. But definitely learned a lot in that one. We'll have Joey Blute up here a little bit later to pick his brain about this layout. And Joey doesn't mince words, so I'm sure we're going to get an honest take.
I love it. There's a lot of guys that I love it when they come up here, but Joey's one of my favorites for sure.
So now
Impact looking really good here.
Yeah, you see the intense conversations in that Damage pit. 3-point spread for Impact.
New York with 5 alive.
Still 4:14 left, though, Rich. New York losing 2 bodies as they're going to lose McLean.
Wow.
And be losing Josh Taylor, so just down to 2. Really got to be worried about this spread now.
Yeah.
Because they essentially lost 3 bodies on the break.
Yeah, and it looked like they all got to their spots. I couldn't tell if they got to their spots and were shot on the way there or got shot there.
Yeah,
and walked out.
I think it's past the point of conceding this right now, because down by 3, concede, leave still 4 minutes on the clock, go down by 4. Got to be really careful not to take that big loss.
Yeah. Tom's all by himself over here. 5 Impact guys hunting him down.
So, yeah, Thomas, because in this division, it's Dynasty, Ironman, Impact, Infamous, and New York Extreme. So no soft games out here in this division moving forward.
We call that the cake division. Cake.
Yeah, I was looking at some of the comments online about who people thought of, and obviously, look, all these teams are really good, and some of these, you can argue that some of these brackets are just as hard as this one, but a lot of people were saying, man, bracket D, absolutely brutal. Yeah, so you see that, and Impact looking like they're content to let this time run down. So I'm wondering, are they going to let it run all the way down, or is Extreme going to concede at some point, maybe just burn a minute off? That's the conversation everyone's having. So they're going to throw the towel in.
Yeah.
Impact looked like they were completely content to just chill for 3 minutes and put up this 4-point win. Let's listen to Dave Baines.
Dave. All right, Bart, who did we shoot off the break?
Three guys off the break.
All right, I want to find out on the left side. Dave!
Bart, who did we shoot off the break? We shot 3. Big smile from Bart. We shot 3 guys on the break.
And the 2, Dave, do we shoot the 2? Oh, fuck yeah. Dave, did I get both?
I think, Matt, you might have got both.
Matt knew that, but he wanted Dave to know that. I'm not asking for myself.
Brandon, yeah. For sure.
Hey, so this is not a good shot on the blue at all, right?
So Matt Drula shooting just laser beams out of his gun in that last point, apparently.
I say we go here and here, running and shooting. I think this guy...
Yeah, might be a good time for Impact, Rich, to throw some sort of unconventional game plan out here. Maybe you don't want to give up your margin, but since you have a pretty sizable lead, not a ton of time left, see if something can work.
Yeah, maybe bring one of those guys off the roster that hasn't been playing a lot of points.
Send Tyler out there.
Give him a spin, like, hey, let's see if you can do something special.
Yeah, maybe give even if you run a standard game plan, maybe pull a couple starters out or guys you know are going to get
Let them rest.
Yeah, lion's share of the spins.
Especially the guys running to the snake, right? Run to that drill corner. Give them a rest. Give them a chance to recuperate.
Yeah, I thought I heard Dave just say, hey, Tyler, we're going to need you. So might see some wheels from Tyler Penelio. No, looks like they're not going to. Yeah, so they're going. I mean, well, everyone on Impact's good.
Yeah.
You know, it's you literally pick dudes out of a hat and have a starting 5 from Impact. Extreme digging up the middle, trying to make the wedge on the break as Impact and New York Extreme flood out wide, but looks like 2 bodies. Yeah, so New York Extreme having a hard time staying alive on the break, and Impact's really starting to find those shots.
Yeah. Yeah, the more Impact gets those shots dialed in, the better they're going to be on the break, and the harder it's going to be for New York to get to those spots. New York, 3 bodies left alive. Josh Taylor in center tower, Pat Kraft in the wing, and Jared Caro in the 50 Snake. Impact with Snake 1, 2 on the D side, 1 in the South Electronics bunker, and then 1 backing up from the Snake insert. Good comms from both teams. Look like George McLean getting to spin Snake side now. Obviously, the New York guys have a lot of confidence in George, taking him off that D side, putting him on the most important spot on the field.
Yeah, and even with this body advantage, Impact with 5 alive, they've gotten some good real estate outside wide Snake 2, D2, and but they're kind of all just posted up shooting zones right now.
Well, what Impact does really well is get to those key spots and not do what Donaldson did, right? Just apply pressure.
That's not a criticism. That's fine. I love that. Hey, we got a big body advantage. We got a big lead. I'm cool with this win the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean, sure, maybe in the next minute or 2, or you got a minute 30. So in the next minute, try to get in some spots, and maybe we get that 5th point on, or 5th, get the margin up to 5.
Referee checking in there. Oh yeah, that player was shot and trying to obscure that hit. That referee could have pulled the penalty, chose not to. Looks like George McLean's getting a little creative there. Snake side went inside of the cut. We don't see a lot of that. Oh, and it gets caught by the tower, just looking inside. George tried to be creative there. They need to get one more body, I think, before he made that risk. Josh Taylor taking a lot of pressure there in that South Electronics bunker. Getting checked by the ref. Impact Craft inside. 4-on-2 advantage here for Impact.
Pat Croft going to scurry out to Snake 1 and get run down by Cornell. Oh, and gets a penalty for that? Interesting. But Cornell was a nice little read from JC there.
Did you see what the penalty was on?
It looked like it was on Pat, but he was gliding into the Snake 1, and then Cornell just ran him down. So I didn't see him pull his gun up. So it'll be 45 seconds left as Impact puts up yet another one here. Yeah, and the story of this game, just too many early deaths from New York Extreme, and they weren't. I mean, they shot some bodies too on the break.
Early deaths,
as
squandered opportunities, right?
Well, you know, so it's a situation where, yeah, you're playing Impact. Again, they've incredibly experienced, successful players, won a lot over the years, and since this is a blind layout, you can just see that they're figuring out those lanes, especially on the break, faster than New York Extreme is.
Yeah, making those adjustments.
And, you know, and it's just, you get 5 guys to work with, and if you're constantly playing down bodies and missing some opportunities. Coach Dan.
They stopped the game. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's a major?
No.
Under a minute. I didn't shoot him.
He shot you, and then you started shooting your gun at him. Even though you're shooting at the gun, you're going to pull the trigger. 100%.
Sounds like from what they're saying in the pits is that Pat got shot and then just tried to shoot his gun.
Well, you know, I mean, Will just told Pat that, hey, man, you were shooting your gun. And Will was right there looking at it. Yep. He's much closer than we are.
Nobody wants to say it, but if it happens, it happens. So just some mental errors here, mistakes from New York Extreme that they're going to have to switch and fix for these next 3 matches. Hopefully they get their coach back down there.
We're playing super fragmented out paintball, right? Other than the little pocket going on at the end there, everyone's just kind of doing their own shit. You're all fighting your own little fights, and we're not like coordinated trying to move down, right? We have penetration. They're on the field.
We're calling timeout. We're calling timeout.
Yeah, so listening to Coach Dan, kind of give his guys the business. You're doing your own things out there. You're fighting your own little mini battles. You're not getting coordinated.
It's the same thing we've been working on all season. It's just coming together as a team, right? Taking a group of very talented individuals and making them understand that they're better together as a team than they are as individuals. Some of them are a little harder to reach than others.
But it's been a rough year for New York Extreme because you guys were so banged up. You know, it's kind of tough to get that good teamwork when a decent bulk of the guys that are going to be playing the lion's share of the spins can't actually even play together in practice as people are hurt.
Yep.
And it's not like, you know, you got Impact out the gate, right? So,
yeah. I mean, Impact after missing their first Sunday in 10 years, right?
14
years. I mean, come on.
That's the worst. I mean, it's, again, whether you get Dynasty, Iron Man, whatever, but you get a hungry, angry Impact as game 1. Oh, yeah, that's just, the paintball gods are not kind sometimes. They giveth and they taketh away. So timeout called before we get to this last point. Looked like right around 45 seconds left. Impact trying to put the finishing touches on a mercy rule win, up by 5. And Extreme would love to have another point to get this spread a little bit better because kind of used to be the running conversation. We'd have Bo Milo up here on Saturday afternoon. And I'd be like, how you guys looking? He's like, well, we need a bunch of things to happen.
Yeah.
We're sitting at a
This
plus
guy has to
1.
do this.
We're 2-2 plus 1. I don't know. We're on the edge.
That's how I got to know Bo, is just him coming up and breaking down the math of the margins for me. Let's see if New York can win this point for pride. Gonna have to win a breakout here. Shoot a couple guys and then make a big move. Impact's probably gonna play it safe, spread it across the back line. Just shoot up to 45 seconds. Unless they send Nick Laval up in the middle with that sneaky again. I don't think so. It looks like a standard 2-1-2.
Yeah, and Impact is also, I mean, almost every point they have at least, 2-3 guns up, running, and a lot of those guns are running and gunning out to their spot or hiding in a little blind area. So both teams sending a body here with 30 seconds left to go, up to that 50 as Josh Taylor took the early walk.
4-on-4 now. Jerry gets a kill crossfield from that snake 50. Pat Kraft taking a walk.
So I don't think, did he get Zupa?
Jerry got.
He got the inside body, but I don't think he got Zupa. Yeah, Zupa clean. Urena just went right past him, though, hunting for this last body. They really want this last point, but I don't think he's going to have enough time. Urena needed probably another 2, maybe 3 seconds to put the mercy rule point up. Not able to do it. So, game's over now. Congratulations to Edmonton Impact. Learned this field pretty quickly. No surprise there, though. So, Impact 1-0. New York Extreme drops our first game. Damage, hard-fought battle, but a victory. 1-point win against the ML Kings. Next up is going to be Houston Heat, Notorious, Dynasty, and Infamous. Here, 2024 Mid-Atlantic Major League Paintball going down. Best teams and players in the world fighting here on center court. I'm Matty Marshall. Here at Go Sports, we'll be right back.
I'm making plays. Y'all know where to find me. You be looking center stage. 24/7, we ain't never taking breaks. Got a lot to learn. Think you better know the game. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. Finally got the belt, now I think I'll give it back. At 24/7 grind, put me on the map. I think you probably should. Y'all study how I move. That's a fact. Yeah, y'all don't let the match. I got the belt, and I ain't gonna give it back. Yeah, y'all let the match. I got the belt and I ain't gonna give it back. I'm making play. And I can do this all day. You know I'm making play. I'm making play. And I can do this all day. You know I'm making play. To the bank, yeah, they call me Showtime, y'all know who to thank. Got the pressure on, gotta do this real big, no thing. I'ma get the dub, what do y'all think? Yeah, I'm making plays, y'all know where to find me, you be looking center stage. 24/7, we ain't never taking breaks. Got a lot to learn, think you better know the game, cause I've been making plays. Yeah, I'm making plays. You know I'm making plays. I'm making plays. And I can do this all day. You know I'm making plays. Cause I've been making plays. Better know the game. Cause I've been making plays.
Paintball here to talk to you about our SC custom jerseys. To start your team's design, head over to crbnpaintball.com, fill in some team information, including what colors, what template you want to base your jersey off of, upload your main team logo and any sponsors, enter your name and your number, and we're going to kick you back a 3D image of your jersey. The custom jersey is built on a 5-panel design that's all customizable. The jersey features a DWR coating all throughout the jersey, so it is water resistant. It also is stain proof, and it has side mesh venting. The jersey is also very fitted, so it has a compact neck collar, and it also features elastic thumb loops to keep the sleeves in place while you're sliding or running. To start your team design, head over to crbnpaintball.com.
What up, NXL? This is Mr. H, and our 2024 MAO NXL Atlantic City event shirt is available right now. If you're at the event, stop by the booth. If you're not at the event, no worries. Head to hcamry.com. It's going to be available right now till Sunday. After Sunday, you'll never be able to get the shirt again. Let's go.
Last year was amazing. Electric tasing. I hear the belly so hard, even boy knows I'm caking. Been a star back then, I'm a star right now, So I find it funny when people call me a star in a making. Call me a first man, I get. Don't get it twisted, cause I rhyme. I get paid for the nouns and ain't got time for the keyboard. Might see me in the rave, getting down with the back of girls that hit on mine. But it's okay, but it's all good. I get mine and she gets.
Brent is the one that selects everybody that he wants to have show up here at the NXL to represent himself, Air Assault Factory, and Carbon Paintball. We've got an assortment of guys now, kind of a rebuild from our semi-pro days. A pretty aggressive team. We usually identify our opportunities very quickly and then try to exploit them as soon as we can. I would say working with Carbon is unmatched in the industry. From the first day that we joined the program, I felt like I had a voice. I think the thing that sets Carbon apart is just the constant desire to improve. From the time that I get a product, I'm constantly getting bombarded with phone calls, text messages, emails from Walker personally, asking me my thoughts, asking me for my feedback, and I just don't think that you see that elsewhere. I've been at other companies and I've never had that type of interaction. Where you see other brands, they're putting their pro athletes up on the pedestal and they're the ones marketing the product, but at Carbon, you can get your photo up on the website and you can see yourself holding the new product and taking promotional shots, and it's just kind of a cool thing that puts their divisional athletes in the limelight. If you look around here at the NXL events and across the country at regional events, you'll see more and more teams showing up in Carbon jerseys, and there's a reason for that. They're innovating and making new products, which is great. I just think it's the best.
Hey, it's BRNT with CRBN, and I have our new IC PWR Nano Barrel System here. This kit includes our famous ultra lightweight injected carbon fiber back with our new nano tip, which features over 700 microports. This microporting prevents any debris, paint, or moisture from entering the bore and also produces a unique low sound signature. These barrel kits are compatible with all PWR inserts, including our own series from 679 to 691, and are also compatible with all PWR inserts, including those made by Planet Eclipse, Dye, and Inception Designs. Check them out at crbnpaintball.com.
And we are back here, 2024 Mid-Atlantic Major League Paintball, going down on center court. It's going to be Houston Heat taking the field for the first time. Notorious already warmed up, but in a loss to Aftershock. And we're going to see San Diego Dynasty, after missing Sunday, they got to be hungry for it. And they're taking on Infamous, who also warmed up in a win against the Ironman. So first point's going to be Heat and Notorious, and it looks like they're going right into this attack in the snake. I'm Matty Marshall. Blessed to have Ryan Gray, Coach AC Diesel, help me call this set. So Ryan, thoughts on the field as we're watching the battle go down here in the snake. You were saying that V is little bit of a seductive mistress in here.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of interesting when we were walking it out yesterday and the guys were talking about, we're going to go, everybody's going to go in here and trade. Everybody's going to go in here and trade. And I was like, yeah, until they don't, right? Like, when everybody figures out that, like, just going in and trading is probably not the best idea. So, yeah, Houston Heat down 2 already. So Notorious, I believe, is in a 4-on-2 with some,
Tough death for Marky Franz there, trying to get into the wedge, gets pinched cross field, but I think either
that was,
or Mishka.
That was Jared Sherman there, kind of not understanding that the guy's in Dorito 2 on the cross, but taking a high body advantage there and kind of throwing it away.
Well, I'm happy to have you up here for this Notorious match because you coached Notorious.
Yeah, and they're missing 3 key guys here. Great job, Michael Johnson there with the and that's a great trade for him. He's a young rookie. Played a little bit with Austin Notorious in semi-pro year. Looks like we've narrowed this thing to a 1-on-1 here.
Yeah, so I believe that was Rodarte that maybe got the spin wearing Ryan Smith's jersey. New pickup from Houston Heat, Ryan Rodarte. Ronnie Dizon still alive and matched up on this D side with Notorious.
Yeah, and I believe that's Maciek Pasternak back there in the corner.
Yeah, with the blonde hair.
Yeah. Yeah, at first I didn't know who it was, and then I realized he had dyed his hair.
Easy to tell who he is now, that's for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, so Maciek and Dizon. Oh, and Macek's going to get the shot in on Ronnie Dizon. So, a lot of American fans unaware of Maciek, but he's one of the best players in Europe. He's very lethal. He had a really rough go of it in their first match because he had multiple penalties.
I saw that.
But when he's on, he's really good.
Really good. He played with Verst last year, and I was blessed enough to be able to coach last year and all through the European season. And Maciek was a player that I watched the entire year, right? And so we were sort of looking at him as an opportunity last year to come over and play with the pro team this year. So looks like Mark Franz made that decision, and great decision, because I do think as he gets used to this, the different tempo here in America, Maciek is going to be a star.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. I typically hear about guys before I meet them. And he was one of those guys that I would start hearing about, and then now here he is playing in the hardest league in the world.
Totally, kind of like Marky Franz on his come up, right? You start hearing his name, and then you see him a few times. Maybe he was here with the D2 in the finals, semi-pro in the finals. And you start going, oh yeah, I get it.
Well, when I start talking to different coaches and players in different areas of the world, and have these, as we've had over the years these long hour-long conversations about things, and we're talking about everything. And I'll start hearing certain names, and when I start hearing them multiple times from multiple guys whose opinions and intellect I respect, I'm like, okay, that's a name I need to remember. So jumping into the first point here, San Diego Dynasty on the red side, Infamous on the blue side, and it looks like Dynasty's going heavy up the gut. They are going to be dropping a body, though, off the break, so it's a 5-on-4 situation in favor of Infamous, and it definitely is a big advantage that Infamous has already played this field, so they're going to know these angles a little bit better. Now, Dynasty had the blessing of watching the game, and it is Dynasty. A little tackle retreat from Ryan Greenspan, went up to the middle with an aggressive breakout, but after losing this body this way, he's got Marcelo Margot right behind him, and they get the shot in on Jonah Jamrose because he's in the snake. Is this Danny?
Well, I can't tell there because of the glare, but
this is that you were just talking about this. Yeah, they're both going to trade until they don't.
But so like what Ryan did is kind of what I think you're going to see, like where you want that body potentially to do the trade is maybe more on the inside or out here in the snake 2 on, the outside snake out here in the snake 2 kind of on the wrap waiting for that guy to kind of make a mistake where you don't put yourself in a 50-50 chance. You give yourself an advantage, right? And I think that's more and more what we're going to see. Of course, Dynasty veterans,
Well, initially this was an Infamous advantage in a 5-on-4, but is that Harrison Fry getting a spin as the first attacker? He's getting it done right now because a couple bodies have dropped for Infamous. So it's looking real good for San Diego Dynasty.
Yeah, and you and I were kind of talking before this match started about guys who can create and then thrive in chaos. Harrison Fry is that guy.
Yes.
This is a great layout for him.
Yeah, so Chris Shear's in a good spot on the D side. He's moving up, trying to find this last body. Nate Schrader still alive, and Nate is going to get picked up. Nothing that Nate Schrader could do in that situation. So, yeah, Harrison Fry getting a spin and getting it done for San Diego Dynasty in the snake. Good job by Ryan Greenspan and Chris Shear as well to stay alive. They lost Marcelo Margot at some point in that chaos.
This layout's tough on the back guys with the little cake in the back center and then, no tower. you know, it was supposed to be a tower originally when we saw the layout out here on the snake side, and then change it to the small Mayan temple, which, again, like as a back guy, you want to be on your feet. You want to be able to collect all the information.
Have a little safety.
Yeah,
just
for sure.
Just a little shred of safety.
Yeah, because if the guy makes it out on the Dorito side, that Mayan on the snake side gets real small.
Yeah, and I mean, if you're tall enough and can see over the brick, you're basically staring at each other.
Yeah.
You know, start box to start box. And so that backfield there's a lot of paint in those areas because, you know, and what's becoming very effective and will be a huge skill on this specific layout. It's always a skill, but in a situation like this is running and gunning accuracy. So you looked at impact, and a lot of times they'd have 3 guys running out to those spots and shooting those inside lanes, and they're getting a lot of kills doing that.
Yeah, so Notorious went with the same line, losing Marky Franz off the break. Doesn't look like shooting anyone, so Houston Heat in the advantage here. Tyler doing the old pod trick there, and it worked. Draws Logan into a Logan Dyer.
Man, we haven't seen a pod trick work in a while.
Yeah. Draws Logan Dyer into the pod trick.
So Houston Heat up a body right now, 4-on-3 situation, as they're going to get Tyler Harmon into the snake 50. Going to wrap. If he wraps around, he's going to get him while he's crawling up. And if he gets established, they're probably going to trade. So, yeah, they trade out of there. But when a high body situation, that's the move. If you trade out with your guy and you have somebody in there with you, which is what Heat does. So Heat now owns the snake, and now they have a 3-on-2 situation. So good job by Tyler to clear that body out.
Yeah, and I think as soon as Houston Heat recognizes they own this side, it's going to end quickly. Yeah, so Michael Johnson, the young man there that was crawling up, I was kind of talking about him earlier. He's an Oklahoma kid, so I've been able to kind of watch him grow up. He's still got a little work to do, but he's just a hard worker.
Yeah, he had some good looks in that first game. So Heat trying to put it together right now.
Yeah, and I was kind of mentioning earlier about the players that aren't here for Austin Notorious. So Ty Bateman, Carter's not here, right? So they've got both of those two guys. And then probably the biggest loss is not having Archie Barnes, right? So, you know, congratulations to Archie and adding a new child to the family. But, yeah, I mean, that's a huge loss, right? Archie in my opinion, carries the weight of kills, and especially early.
Bateman was really good, but ABJ was a phenom at that first event.
And Carter was good, too.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from those guys, but when you played Notorious and you didn't control ABJ, you're having problems.
Well, the thing is, you can't. You just have to, like, mitigate how much damage he can do, you know? The kid is he's small, he's fast. Again, incredible hard worker.
Yeah, so right now, Heat, as they've been putting it together, first look on this layout, and they got 2 body snake side, 1 on the D side with Mishka. That's a great anchor to have over there. And then they got Fedorov trying to create over here with Chad Boucher.
Yeah, it's nice to see Mishka getting a few more opportunities. It didn't seem like he got too many on the Texas layout. So
always the tough thing for the coaches on these top teams is figure out who your guys are going to be.
Totally.
So now on a little reposition, Notorious going to get up and try to come through. Is he going to get 2? Oh, my God, what a beautiful move here.
Great job, Jared Sherman.
So he goes 2 for 1, turns it into a 1-on-1.
Magic again.
Best case scenario right there. I mean, best case would have been to stay alive, but that's almost impossible on a layout like this when you're facing those 2 bodies. So see if Magic can win this 1-on-1 here. He already did it. Shooting D's on. Mishka, Russian legend. Oh, and Mishka owns him in the 1-on-1 and caught Magic sleeping. Well executed move there and just dipped inside and then outside. Magic looking inside. Magic didn't get a ball out of his gun.
Yeah, Magic kind of got tunneled on the inside of the field, never looked down the wire one time. You know, if you're watching this, you're an up-and-coming player. When you're a 1-on-1, you should play the whole spot.
Yeah, it's also one of those situations that when you're in a 1-on-1, I mean, what do the bunkers exist for? To put between you and your opponents. And so when you're only dealing with one specific guy, one variable, back up off that spot a little bit. You're going to play the bunker. Don't let that bunker play you. So. Yeah. And then the concept is try to have your opponent lose you so you don't know where you are, and that's exactly what he did, but that's kind of peculiar in that specific 1-on-1 situation for Magic.
Yeah. And on the other side, Mishka did it perfectly.
Yeah.
Right? Like, you're not going to look at me, I'm just going to walk right to you.
10 to 10.
Totally.
All right, here we go. San Diego Dynasty and Infamous Infamous had a lot of wrecking balls in that first game. Sam Silberg had a really good game. Ryan Hall had a really good match. San Diego Dynasty getting Arturo Andrade into the snake first. And then they're going to, looks like Infamous is going to match that with Patient. But Ryan Hall getting clipped out of that back center and a penalty assessed. So that's going to pull out Barrett, and Brusselback got shot as well. Not sure if the penalty was on Brusselback or Hall. I think it was on Hall.
Yeah, the penalty was definitely on Hall. Brusselback got shot off the break.
So then Arturo comes around and eats up Patient. And that's going to force a concession with just one body left alive there for Infamous. So a little bit of a gift with that Hall penalty for San Diego Dynasty. Made the most of it. And no one died on Dynasty. Perfect point. Haven't seen very many of those. I think that might be actually be the first time I've seen a 5 alive point on this crazy layout.
They've been so messy. So messy.
Messy's a great word.
Yeah, because none of the teams, they don't know it, right? So everybody's kind of going, feeling things out, testing some seams, right? Like, I'm going to go as far as I can and then maybe one step further just to see.
Yeah.
Right?
And you're watching it in real time, these teams and players. I mean, every time we cut to the pits, coach has got the clipboard out. They're talking angles. Hey, was that guy able to get that shot on you? How did that off the break shot? Did that angle work? Did that route work?
Right. Yeah, it's practice, right? Like, you're doing all those play development things, collecting as much data as you can every point you get to play.
So 9 minutes, 43 seconds to go. Tied at 1 apiece with the heroics of Mishka Kiesnev. And that last one they're going to lose. Looks like Heat loses Dizon off the break. So 5 bodies alive right now for Notorious. 5-on-4 situation. Battle going down. We're just going to see this all event long here, Ryan.
I don't think so.
I'm looking at what on screen, these 2 bodies here.
Oh, that should be a minor. It is, yeah.
Minor penalty on Chad George.
Yeah, Logan Dyer puts a ball right on the top of Chad George's loader, draws a minor penalty.
So now a 5-on-1, it looks like. And it's just Ryan Moorhead trying to get creative in a real treacherous spot. Nothing that Ryan could do there.
Another perfect point. Austin Notorious 5 alive.
2 in a row.
I'd have lost money on it.
Yeah, for sure.
I'd have lost money.
That's like hitting 0 twice in a row. Totally. We're in Atlantic City. Yeah, well, we will see AC Diesel take the field here in a couple sets. About 28 seconds before the start of this next point. Yeah, so Diesel making a Sunday, played yesterday. Didn't work out for you guys.
No, you know me well enough to know, like, I'm both sides, right? Like, I'm probably a little more critical first and then draw like the good things from it. There's some really good things happening with us, and, you know, the communication things that are happening off the field are beginning to translate to the field. Some good things are happening, so I expect us to continue to make improvements.
Dynasty pushing the issue, getting Archie out wide and right into the snake first with Harrison Fry. Looks like Greenspan's going to go towards the D side, but he gets cut down trying to get into that Aztec.
And what Ryan just did is what I was talking about earlier. I think he's just that we're going to test this space.
Yeah.
Right? We're up a couple points. Let's test something.
Yeah, he was more snake side, now more D side. I mean, Ryan does play all over occasionally, but one of the, I mean, arguably in a lot of people's books, the actual GOAT.
Mine. Yeah, in my opinion, he is the best player to ever do this.
Harrison Fry, he's going to trade out with Jonah. He does, forces the reposition over in the middle as Archie Montemayor, not feeling any pressure, goes right. Archie does this a lot, man. If you don't put pressure on Archie, he will stand up over the spot, and he will keep that head on a swivel and try to get these angles you're not really normally used to getting shot at from, because the guy typically just gets in a spot. So now taking a little pressure, he ducks back in. They did get the shot in on Silberg. So just 2, it's a 2-on-3 situation here in favor of San Diego Dynasty with a double stack of bodies towards that D side. Just one player over there for Infamous and one here for Infamous on the snake side back corner bunker. Oh, Archie gets the shot in on Barrett as Barrett tried to get it in that back corner into snake 1. Great comms, great communication from Archie. Calling that kill. Crossfield to Marcelo.
When Archie plays over the top like that, that's when you know things are not good. If you're on the other team and you start seeing Archie Montemayor play over the top, bad things are
If Archie's
about to
up
happen.
and over the spot for a good 45 seconds, then you're not doing it the way it's supposed to be done.
Right.
Because he's supposed to be catching some pressure. Things must be going really well for Dynasty.
And really what I'm talking about is he's such a big-brained player that when he can look over the top, put it all together, it's not good, right?
Well, and that's the situation. I mean, that's not exactly textbook. You know, in the sense of, because if it was a younger guy coming up, I'm like, please do not stand that far up out of your bunker. But when you're a master at your craft, you can do things like that.
Yeah. And that's what's bad. Sometimes the young guys will see him, and they see him do it, and then they test it, and they just get their wig split.
And you're like, you are not Archie, man. Not yet. Maybe one day you'll be that good, but you are not that good right now. So I need you to get into that spot and play it like the traditional way it's supposed to be played.
Solid point from Dynasty there, and watching Infamous and also understanding that they've had a game, Dynasty has not. I really kind of expected Infamous to come out, win the first few points just because of a little bit of field time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and that has just not been the case. Dynasty seems to have figured it out pretty quick. You know, and this is, if you're just tuning in, it's a blind layout, meaning these guys did not have a chance to play this. This got set up yesterday after the conclusion of the Lone Star Major, and we had 200 guys out here at the same time walking the field, which made it actually really hard to walk the field.
Chaos.
So heading into this next one, so Heat is down now to a Notorious. Both teams dropping a body off the break. As looks like, I think that's Fedorov and Logan Dyer.
Yeah, Pasternak comes off on the Dorito side, so now Houston Heat in a 4-on-3 advantage.
Yeah, and Houston Heat with good field position with the body here in the snake. And he's going to get some help. Tyler Harmon right behind him. No one out on that D side quite yet. Mishka's still battling from the can. Oh, but another body comes off for Notorious from the middle, so just down to 2.
Yeah, but Marky Franz is eating right now.
Yeah, Marky Franz coasted into D3, and they just got a shot in on Tyler. I think that was down the sideline here. It's really hard to win a snapshot battles with Tyler Harmon, so hats off to Johnson.
Yeah. And I don't know if Johnson's the one that shot him or if Marky shot him in the transition.
Could have been.
Yeah, kind of over the top there. Now 2-on-2. Oh, MJ. Yeah. That's kind of what we were talking about earlier, right, where Archie can stand over the top, but maybe you can't, right?
Well, I don't know. Yeah, maybe not. I don't know if he knew that Chabouche was at that spot.
He definitely did not.
And then Marky is also going to catch one, so kind of back and forth on the deaths. But Houston Heat keeping 2 bodies alive, but they do not have the count because everyone's dead for Notorious, so they're being extra safe.
And you can see there, too, like kind of the youth of Austin Notorious with Michael Johnson on this side of the field and Marky on the other side. They really didn't talk to each other. No communication there. You know, they were close to being able to pull that off, but, you know, if you're not communicating about where the bodies are, like slowing down, let's find the 2 guys.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about how we're going to win the game.
Well, and sometimes even if you get a guy that's, coming up the ranks and they get so laser focused and there may not be tunnel visioned on that specific side or that specific battle, but they're tunnel visioned in a way where they're not trying to incorporate the rest of the team into what they're doing.
Yeah. Great point. And also like a little bit of adrenaline and excitement. You just shot Tyler Harmon maybe, and then you trade, right, with the other guy and you're like, I did my work, right? I did my job.
Yeah. 20 seconds. Yeah, but unfortunately everyone else is dead, so we need you to do a little bit more.
Right, yeah, that's where it's kind of like that experience comes into play. You understand, like sometimes I'm going to shoot 4 guys.
Well,
I have to.
Yeah, sometimes you have to.
Right.
And on a blind layout, typically the teams that do better when we do have blind layouts are the more experienced squads because they adapt faster.
We talked about that on the coaches show, and it was interesting to hear SK. He was like, I don't really think it makes that much a difference, which I kind of disagree with. So Infamous losing a body off the break, so Dynasty immediately in a 5-on-4 here. And again, this is what I was talking about, what Blake just did. I think they're just testing some space there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 3-point lead.
Yeah, Dynasty losing 2. So I think we should be a 3-on-3 now.
Yeah, Marcelo.
Oh, no, a 4-on-3.
4-on-3 in favor of Infamous. So, yeah, they have Sam Silberg's in D3. They have the wedge in the middle, Aztec, and then, so they're not into the snake yet. Neither is Dynasty, though. No, sorry, Dynasty has a 50 snake, and he's got Archie behind him, and then Marcelo made a nice move to get out into that D side, into D1. So slightly better field position here for San Diego Dynasty with the 50 snake position. And it does look like Archie, I mean, he's gun battling, protecting that lane, but I'm thinking he's probably going to want to try to get out wide here.
I think Archie's in a great spot here.
Yeah, he's in a good spot.
Yeah.
He was just kind of shoulder checking that way a little bit.
Yeah, he can see the edge of this. If the guy tries to come around, he's going to shoot him right away. So Arturo can kind of focus on the guy in the Dorito. He can do what he's doing right now. Try to find a little space to play in. He doesn't have to, yeah. See there, if Arturo stays the other way and Archie shoots him and then the guy shoots Arturo, you draw a penalty there.
Yeah. So now it's a 2-on-3 in favor of Infamous. They desperately need this point. Still a lot of time, though. Just under 9 minutes to play.
Yeah, I think today, so normally the average number of games played in the match are 7, right? It's somewhere
Like
around 7.
Points played?
Yeah. Points played,
Yeah.
right? And the total in a match is usually around 7. I think today it's going to be 9.
Yeah, after that first set this morning,
right?
I was like, "Oh, they're going to see a lot of points today."
I think it's going to be around 9. Now it'll slow down a little bit in the afternoon because the afternoon teams have had an opportunity to watch. They'll have it a little more figured out, but I don't think it's going to slow down a ton.
Got Andy, new rookie player Andy Kopcock, is now graced our presence here playing with Infamous again. Andy gets the kill inside. So I'm wondering the last time that Andy shot Archie in competition was probably around maybe 2011.
That wasn't a 10-man tournament? That's probably true.
Yeah, I don't know if Archie goes and plays the 10-mans.
You're right.
So thumbs up. Yeah, so Andy, former teammate of mine on the Ironman back in the day, early 2000s. That's how long. He's 48 years old, still out here playing.
So he was on X Factor when I coached them in 2007, and just insanely good. Looks like he just stepped right back in time, right?
Yeah, with a time vortex opened up, and Andy from the late 2000s just rolled right out of the past.
Yeah, I saw him yesterday, and I said, "Are you playing?" And he said, "Yeah." And I gave him a hug, and I was like, "I'm so happy to see that."
Well, I saw him yesterday going to walk the field, and I'm like, "Oh, cool, Andy's here." No idea he was actually on a roster yet.
Yeah.
And then I see Ryan Hall and Brett Messer at dinner last night. And they're like, "Oh, did you hear we picked up Andy?" And I was like, "He's playing?" I mean, and I played with him on a 10-man when we played for Cat Factory. But yeah, anyway, he still got it. Jump back to this next one here. Tied up 2-2.
Austin Notorious with a quick kill of Houston Heat. So it should be in a 5-on-4 situation here. Logan Dyer wrapping, going to look for the trade really quickly. Better be careful there.
Get your gun up, man. So he just went around. I don't know if he saw him, but he didn't have his gun up, and that forced didn't get the trade. Looks like that's Rodarte. He's going to get bunkered out, though, so nice counterattack from Notorious. But then that body comes off. Man, this side is really a war of attrition over here, Ryan.
Yeah, and again, I think where you see got Chad here, I think this is where guys are going to end up being there more often and kind of in that small Mayan, and they're going to protect the edge of this instead of going right into it right away and trading bodies as the tournament develops. But we'll see. I could be wrong.
But we are starting to see where guys are going through and not trading a little bit more, just in the past set or two. So I don't know if that trend's going to continue, but Houston Heat now owns that real estate here. Notorious trying to counterattack again.
Great move.
Oh, runs through the inside, jumps, and shoots Chad George in the back. He does get shot inside, so decent zone control, but still, he got his guy. Now it's a 2-on-2 situation, so he's going to be the first to get the read. Looks like Houston Heat is, as they're going to dip right into the snake.
A great move there from Michael Johnson. Good vision.
Yeah, but it's, man, having a lot of bodies on this side is really good if you're going to keep trading body for body for body. As Houston Heat now in a good spot here into Snake 2. D's on at the can. We've seen it. That can's tough. A lot of guys are getting shot out of that can. Might not the bunker of death quite yet, but looks like Sam Monville having a problem with his loader. Now he's good to go.
Really tough to be in that can when the guys get outside. Like right now, he's okay, but if you get a guy out here in the Snake and a guy in the Dorito too, and you're in that can, you're in trouble.
Yeah, intense moments here in a very close match.
So this is kind of what we were talking about earlier. So Markey has just now talked for the first time that we've heard in like a minute, right?
Yes.
Like, and you can hear the Houston Heat guys connecting pretty often, pretty regularly.
Yeah, and you were just talking about that. Some of these, and you coached these guys last year. But that's a common theme with new teams, new players, and these guys have been around for years. But it's just a different level out here in the pro division.
Yep, one mistake, and there it is.
Yeah, so Magic getting shot out of that spot, and then Markey's going to get shot as well too. So 2 quick gunfight wins is going to do it. So San Monville and Ronnie Dizon clock in to give Heat the advantage in this close battle. Tell you what, though, even the fact that Notorious, Like they're still in this. There's still time left, right? And it hasn't gotten away from him. He's not beating the brakes off of him. But even against Shock, now Shock did end up winning by I think 3 points. But considering Notorious is missing 3 of their starters,
playing much better than I would have bet on. Just to I do think the blind layout does help with that, right? Like if you have an opportunity to give any of these teams, these 20 teams, a weekend or 4 or 5 days to prep. If you're that team that's missing 3 key guys, you're going to feel it a lot faster, right? And I do think tomorrow maybe it'll look a little bit different. Maybe it'll be a little more difficult for them to kind of stay in some of these. Because
that's a good point.
Teams will have it figured out. They'll scout them a little bit, But just doing some of the things they're doing, like Michael Johnson, that move was
beautiful.
That's critical.
Yeah,
right?
And at the right moment, too.
Recognize this is the threat. He goes and takes him off the field. It's the late game stuff they got to work on.
So San Diego Dynasty up by 2 with 8 minutes to go as they get Harrison Fry. So Harrison Fry's having a pretty solid game here in the Snake as the first attacker. And looks like they're going to be losing Archie Montemayor. Archie Montemayor, penalty on him. Doesn't get a lot of those. And they're going to lose Harrison. So 3 bodies coming off for Dynasty. This is Infamous's chance to keep this one close. Dynasty floods a body out with Arturo into that back corner bunker Snake side. And they also have, I believe, Ryan Greenspan in the D1 position. But that's it. And Infamous, Ryan, is all the way on their side. Tim Brusselback is on Dynasty's side in their D3, his D5. And then Brusselback's going to launch, try to bunker out Ryan Greenspan. And Greenspan eats him up and stays alive.
Wow.
Might have been Arturo with the crossfield shot, too. And that's actually good in that situation that Tim, obviously, is going to be frustrated with that, but he didn't pull the trigger, it looks like.
Absolutely, yeah. I kind of thought maybe he did, and we were about to see a penalty, and, what a nasty thing that would have been. But I was sitting up here shaking my head. You guys can't see me, of course, but I'm sitting up here kind of shaking my head. Archie gets shot kind of in the pack area, and he's checking it on the way up. He looked at it, and the ref, calls the penalty, and he's kind of shaking his head. I always like to say, when we see calls that maybe they weren't correct, like the referees are human beings, right? They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do the wrong thing sometimes. And
Nate Schrader taking the walk here for Infamous. So Dynasty, wow, that's a tough death. Dynasty is clocking out on zone control. Arturo Andrade and Ryan Greenspan are handling, because this was a low body situation for him, and I think they got it back to a 2-on-2.
I believe it's 2-on-2.
Yeah, so these are ones you want back, man. When you're trying to come back against a tough team like Dynasty and you got a 4-on-2 situation, I mean, they still got a chance here.
I mean, I understand their pain because I just went through this.
That's true. Well, they get a shot on Ryan.
Yeah.
So now it's a 2-on-1 here. Arturo is going to roll the dice and try to attack. Oh, he's going to cut towards the middle.
And
he gets him. But then the attack on the D side. With the death of Greenspan, so it's turned into a 1-on-1. What a beautiful move there from Arturo Andrade, but he has not checked off on his side of the field. He's looking in front of him, but the farthest he's looked back is to D3. Oh, now he pops the top, but he's not tall enough to see over the top of that brick. And then let's see if Ryan Hall can catch him. No, Ryan misses the first engagement.
Nah, he shot him.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay, so Ryan Hall.
Well, they're definitely calling him out, but Arturo, again, is saying, hey, I'm not hit. I don't know what you're pointing at. How good has Arturo gotten, though?
So good.
Man.
I mean, he has an almost illegal snapshot. And if you ever get a chance to watch Arturo Andrade's snapshot in person, like, it's one thing to watch it on camera, but if you ever get to go to a tournament and get, like, a close look at it, it's almost like a blind shot, like how he's able to accurately snap his gun out that quickly.
It's exactly what I was like. From a technical perspective, I was going to say it's totally wrong. But if you can do it the way he does it and you can master that, do it that way.
100%.
Right? Because, I don't even know that his head really comes out of the spot.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's like the gun's there and it's gone.
Very rare type of snapshot, but he's just, like you said, he's mastered it.
Nasty.
Yeah. But props to Hall. Ryan Hall kept his head on a swivel. And so Arturo was checking off, but, he's not tall enough to see over that brick. So maybe thought he was protected from that side if somebody had, but he was basically checking off to about his their D4. Whereas Hall was already on their side of the field.
I kind of said this yesterday when we were walking the field a little bit. I was like, this is a field layout where you could be winning one side and not know that you've completely lost the other one, right? And a guy, just like Ryan Hall did, be standing on your side of the field, and you could even have 2 guys alive over here, and him just come down and touch the buzzer while you're still alive.
Absolutely. All right, we're in the pits right now with Infamous. Let's listen in.
Okay. I know he's in the corner, and then Nate died weird, and I haven't seen the corner. I'm like, he slipped in the snake, but I just don't know. I can't see him. Right.
Ryan died to Chicago again. You need one? You're right.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, really good conversation there with Ryan Hall and Callie.
Joe, Nate said everything before he went to work.
I heard. Back left just never looked. So I was like, "Are you sure? Did he call forward?"
There's red alert.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's just saying back left, and I'm like,
I
well,
know,
I don't know.
but the whole time we're doing that, you're like, both corners 1L, 33. I'm like, no, it is Tiger 3. Nate's like, both corners only. Like, let's just, sorry about that.
I actually even saw the third guy, and I for some reason,
You
just
called
blanked
the
for a
Tiger
second.
3.
I know.
Yeah, and as we break into, a little bit of a bad start for Notorious. Was he able to tag up? It looks like he was, but the referee is going to run in and pull out Magic, as he is going to be dropping a body too. So it looks like a 4-on-4 right now.
Yeah, Michael Johnson taking the walk out of that Mayan in the middle of the field.
Yeah, and that's looks like that's going to Fedorov is dicing people up on that D side. Yeah, it's putting Notorious in a tough spot. This game is still close, though. I mean, it's a 1-point match right now. It's about to be a 2-point match, because I think it's just Marky Franz.
Yeah,
Oh, did Marky Franz? Unless,
yeah, he just got
oh,
shot.
he got a shot.
Yeah.
I thought he got a shot maybe. The referee went in to go look at Fedorov like he was about to pull Fedorov out. But unfortunately, even if he shot Fedorov, he still had to deal with both Sam Monville and Nishka. So he's in a tough spot. So Houston Heat.
So you know who the Polish
Pulling
guy
away.
is that's wearing the blank jersey on Notorious? He, I know he's Machik's buddy. He's moved to America now.
Well, Bogdan?
Sure.
Man, the Polish names are the hardest ones to say. But the first name, Bogdan. So Bogdan. I'm that last, Andrei Vusek.
Love this, looking into Houston Heat's pit here. Everybody standing around Ryan Smith, giving information. It's kind of what we were talking about earlier. It's so critical on a blind layout. In between every point, get everybody together, put the data together, talk about how your play development's going to work for the next point.
We had said this in a set before, but it bears repeating, is that those conversations you have mid-game in the pits are incredibly crucial, and all the good teams have very thorough, intricate conversations. They're even more important today because everyone's just playing this field for the first time, so you've got it. And every time we cut to the pits now, Ryan, I'm sure you're going to be doing the same thing. Coach has the clipboard. They're going through, okay, how'd that angle work? Would that angle work for you? It didn't? Okay, cool. And they're just kind of checking off the list.
Minor adjustments, minor adjustments, minor adjustments, minor adjustments. I mean, like, the ones we normally make are fragmental adjustments, right? Because you've had 4 days, right, on the layout.
Yeah.
These are going to be, again, some could be major. If you come out and you're like, oh, my God, we got blown off the field. You're making major adjustments. But what Houston Heat, and, of course, veterans and showing that prowess, right?
Yeah, absolutely. It's just, like you said, fragmented adjustments. You're kind of breaking these things down in a micro conversation way. And this, paintball is a game of adjustments always anyway, but you're not coming into this, today having 5-set game plans, having played 90 points on this layout. It's almost a complete turn of, it is a completely, turn of situations based on what we had the Texas layout, which everyone had a month and a half to play.
So sick of looking
some
at
people
that.
Some people went to Europe, some people went to Mexico, and everyone was playing that layout forever, it felt like. And so, this is a completely different situation. So jumping in, little 1-point lead here for Dynasty with 5:34 to go.
Wow, 5-on-5 breakout. That's rare.
Yeah, haven't seen a ton of those.
Starting to figure it out.
Quick attack from Sam Silberg here for Infamous, as they need one to tie, and he's already into D3. They are going to be losing Ryan Hall behind him. Hall having a pretty good tournament, so that's a good kill for San Diego Dynasty to get Hall off the field. Here comes Nate Schrader. He's going to try to help out Jamrose. Jamrose is posted up at the wedge, trying to shoot at this body here on your screen. The San Diego Dynasty is up into D2. And they got Harrison Fry right back to the 50, man. This is when we start saying things like they might as well just let Fry start at that position, because I don't think he's got off the break.
Number 4.
Oh, they went. Okay, yeah. They got Danny a spin.
Yeah.
Been all Fry pretty much all day, or all game. And then look at Archie again, just posted up over the top of his spot. It's off your guys' screen right now, but Archie Monteminore is in the snake, looking at these 3 inside bodies for Infamous, and no one is putting any pressure at all on Archie. He hasn't come down off of popping that top in probably the past 30 seconds.
Where he's standing, though, nobody can shoot at him. Like he just knows I can be on this edge and I'm fine.
Well, yeah, there's no one out wide, so he doesn't have to worry about that. But it's still a nerve-wracking situation to be in.
He's the perfect paintball height.
Yeah, he really is.
He can stand over the brick almost completely erect, and he's 8 inches over it.
Yeah, and he's still just posted up over the top, just talking it up. So now he's going to open up a lane. Yeah, you can see no one out wide right now for Infamous. They have that one. Oh, Sam Silber gets shot on the island over there, forcing a tactical retreat from one of those bodies in the middle for Infamous, and now a 3-on-5.
Archie Montemayor getting shot out of the snake.
So he finally got caught over the top.
He did.
Well, if you ride that edge enough, even the best are going to get shot occasionally doing it.
Ryan is so far into that tower, he's pulled the stakes out.
Another guy that's perfect paintball size, too.
Absolutely.
So Marcelo Margot, whitest, or the next body out here behind Danny Schonauer.
The way the field is broken down right here is kind of what I thought would happen. Not as many bodies being flowing out on the Dorito side is just opportunity for this big brick to, take shots over there. Kind of one guy out that way, 4 guys this way. When I say 4 guys this way, I mean 4 guns, right? 4 intentions this way. Whether it's from that tower over or the small Mayan over, kind of 4 bodies this way.
Oh, great shot on Jonah Jamrose. So Danny's going to dive inside and get to that spot where Jamrose just was. He gets there alive, and then they cut in half. Player for Infamous trying to make it out into that can. And they're going to tap Barrett out as well, too. So it's just Barrett and Schrader left on the field, and Dynasty looking really good here to start to pull away a little bit.
And what I love, too, about what Dynasty did there is they slowed down. Pump the brakes. Let's talk it out. Don't try. Let's pull the tempo back a little bit. New layout. Let's figure it out.
Yeah, Impact did that a little bit in their game against New York Extreme as well, too, when they went up a little bit. So you're seeing these experienced teams try to make the most of this very difficult situation. Blind layout, chaotic field. If you have a lead, but they didn't really have a big lead to work with here for Dynasty. It's now a 2-point lead, but yes, I totally agree with you, Ryan. Slowing it down a little bit, start to get the vibe of your communication cross field. They had a high body situation and executed it very well. Great play by Danny Schonauer too. Gets a spin, makes the most of it. So that's good for SK now, because Harrison Fry played well up there and Danny's playing well up there. So
Arturo played well up there.
Yeah, Arturo played well up there, so he's got some choices.
I say this all the time, like on the show, we have SK comes on, does the pre-show with us, and we get him on here and there, and I'm like, oh, bless your heart, all that talent.
That's spoken.
You're gonna be okay.
Oh, bless your heart.
Yeah, bless your heart.
Yeah, make sure you guys check out the Coaches Show. Cool podcast. Mike Bianca and Ryan Gray, 2 of the best coaches out there, breaking things down for everybody, giving people that inside info. So right now, body dropping, 2 bodies dropping for Austin Notorious, and what is, again, also close games in this set here. Just a 2-point lead for Houston Heat, but it looks like Houston Heat's going to be dropping Ryan Rodarte out of the snake.
And I like this shift that Austin Notorious has made here. I was kind of talking about it earlier. I think it's going to be more what you're seeing here with Logan Dyer out here in the snake too, where he can, if somebody makes it up to that big wedge, he can just wrap to it, protect the outside without having to trade his body.
Yeah. Trying to find ways to be productive out here and not trade your body is going to probably be a big key on this snake side.
It's huge.
Yeah, so Dyer shooting this angle cross field. Chad George is inside of him at that wedge. And then here's a look at the D side for Houston Heat. 2 bodies over there.
I think, too, teams are going to start to understand that you don't have to be first in there. Be second. Right? Because if you're first, you can
D side or snake side?
On the snake side, sorry. In the giant wedge on the 50 over here on the snake, you don't have to be first. Be second. Let him go in, set up. Maybe he gets bored, starts playing inside. Now maybe you get a freebie.
We've already seen one pod trick pulled off.
Totally.
Throw a full pod at the bunker. Yeah, it shakes. Bait him in. Set the trap. Tyler Harmon pulled it off in this match.
Now you probably won't see another one.
I think we're probably going to see it be attempted.
So in our group chat, somebody's already said, like, get your pod throwing arm ready.
So this one getting drawn out a little bit here because Austin Notorious has to go into these guns. Houston Heat doesn't need to do anything. They'll be content to take a 2-point win here. I mean, I'm sure they'd like the margin a little bit better, but they're playing a team that already warmed up.
Yeah, Houston Heat, even in Texas, had a lot of 1- and 2-point games, but they won all 4. So if you win all 4, it doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Houston Heat definitely likes to make it interesting sometimes. Yeah, in Texas, I mean, Heat's ranked 3rd overall with 2 fifth-place finishes. They were undefeated in the prelims. But their biggest margin of victory in the prelims was 2.
That's what I'm saying, 1- and 2-point games.
I mean, they lost in the quarterfinals to X Factor by 1, but their whole plus-minus for the event was just a +4.
What a gift yesterday was. Other than that one game with the Kings, what a great day of paintball.
Yeah, as last 2 bodies getting taken out in this low-body situation for Notorious. So nice capitalization on an opportunity here from Ryan Moorhead and the rest of the boys from Houston Heat, as Moorhead's going to get in there and hit that buzzer, make that spread a little better. But, yeah, I totally agree with you. Yesterday was a blessing. We only had... Well, both Blast Camp games were blowouts because they mercy ruled the first game and then got mercy ruled. Other than that, it was nothing but really close battles, especially that final match.
So good. And Ryan's game plan coming out, those first 2 points, going with the crazy offense. I think maybe if he would have stuck with that a little longer, maybe the outcome is different. I don't know. The Russians they played so well. Justin Rabakov was unbelievably good.
Hats off to J-Rab, got the MVP. Well-deserved. It was kind of neck and neck between him and Malloy before we got to that moment. But if J-Rab doesn't have those 2 points, he got those 3 kills and the point to even get him in it.
Totally.
And then save the point in overtime. So kind of had to give him the MVP,
It was so fun for me, because I'm a fan, right? And I did not watch that game technically. I just watched it. And it was so fun. So fun.
Yeah. I hope we get that Sunday afternoon at this event. So jumping back this one, another 2-point spread here with 2:33 to go. Greenspan with a risk up the middle, and it works out for him. He makes it in clean. Now, you can live from that spot, the closer mini wall to us, but if he moves over to the next one, you can get shot from that 50 brick, from that angle. I mean, Ryan might be able to live in there because, again, he's perfect paintball size, but body drop in for Infamous from that D side. But still have a body that way. They are going to be losing Danny Schonauer from Dynasty coming off as Infamous starts attacking on that D side, even after losing a body that way, because they have 2 points to make up to tie this game. Infamous won their first match against the Ironman with a pretty comfortable spread.
So the other thing I was going to say about this setup where Ryan is, the whole point was to keep Jonah from being able to play inside so that they could force that Dorito side, because you have Chris Shear up in the Dorito 4.
Yeah, there's Chris Shear on your screen. Marcelo Morgat right behind him.
I kind of wish that 50 Dorito was half red, half blue.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can put that in the comment box. Suggestions.
I'll get it filed.
Marcelo with a couple nice moves to get a little bit closer to Chris. Oh, but Ryan Greenspan. So that's, again, survivability from that middle is kind of tough when there's a body at that 50 brick. You really have to kind of hide almost if somebody's alive and looking inside. So as soon as that gun shifted that way, Greenspan comes off dead. Archie Montemayor looking for it, though.
But kind of the whole point of Ryan being there worked. Now with Archie.
Oh, but Archie coming off again here.
Yeah.
Oh, but it looks like might have traded out potentially with Patient as Callie Rudolph taking the walk. As Chris Shear's coming through that D side. Here comes a big fill all the way across for Barrett, but the Barrett gets absolutely torched from Marcelo. He had no idea that Marcelo was alive, so it's going to be a one-on-one situation with 43 seconds left to go. Jonah Jamrose, who's still alive in this brick after that chaos, and Marcelo Margat, who is an absolute master in these situations.
Oh, goodness gracious.
So Jonah Jamrose did not know the count, and he slept on Marcelo, so that was 2 essentially free kills for Marcelo because Barrett had no idea he was live. He made Barrett pay, and then Jonah had no idea, and Marcelo's going to wave bye-bye.
Yeah, and both these teams, right, looking for a little redemption from Texas.
Oh,
right?
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, to be blunt, haven't seen Infamous look that bad in a while. I mean, but then Infamous shows up and beat the Ironman, and the Ironman were looking pretty good yesterday.
And I thought
that was a great win.
And I thought that win, not only did they beat them, but I thought they looked great.
Oh, for sure.
Totally controlled.
But if we look, so Infamous currently 16th place because they took dead last at the last one. Their plus minus, and so they lost every single game, and their plus minus was a -14.
Yeah.
So much different here so far this morning. I mean, even in this match right now against Dynasty, yeah, Dynasty's going to take the win, but it was a battle. So they're sitting at 1-1 right now, and I think they're still going to have I think they're going to be +1.
And their pool here is brutal.
Yeah, the Dynasty, Ironman, Impact, Infamous, and New York Extreme bracket.
Because now, New York Extreme is totally healthy. A lot of those guys haven't had enough field time yet. I think we'll see New York Extreme will get better throughout the weekend as Josh and some of the guys who've been hurt come back, get back into tempo and rhythm. I think you're going to see a different New York Extreme. But that pool, if NYX, especially tomorrow, kind of shows up, that pool is brutal.
Well, we're going to see it in the next match.
Brutal.
New York Extreme is going to play Ironman, and they both lost their first match, so a must-win situation already for them because you do not want to go 0-2 on day one.
Especially in that pool.
Yeah. So Austin Notorious potentially could be going 0-2 here. Need to keep this margin as close as they can, even if they do take a loss, which they're going to because there's just a minute left to go.
Full court press here for Austin Notorious, Mike Johnson, and Gio Cardiel. So Gio's actually a Division 4 player.
Wow.
Yeah.
Making a big jump.
Yeah. Maybe he played on their D3 team, but I mean, he is a young player. Not young in age. He's an older fella, but he's young in paintball years.
Well, just 36 seconds left to see if Notorious can make something happen and take it to a 2-point spread. Houston Heat, though, tucked into some really good spots at this point for Notorious. All they're going to see is the edges of goggles and the tips of barrels. Now they figured out where he is. Looks like Chad wants to make this move. Chad, one of the more aggressive guys in the league. Oh, and he did it at the perfect moment. Little 2-pack here for Chad Boucher. With 8 seconds left, is Houston Heat going to try to go for it? No, I don't think so. They can't because Magic's still alive. So that is going to do it here for this set. Houston Heat going to take a victory over Notorious, and San Diego Dynasty taking down Infamous. So a good start for both Heat and Dynasty, as these are their first games, and both Notorious and Infamous had already played. Next up, though, Chicago Aftershock taking the field. They beat Notorious in their first match. ML Kings lost to Damage, but that was one of the closer games we've seen today. So ML Kings looked pretty dialed in a loss. And then the Ironmen going to need to step up and take down New York Extreme, and same with New York Extreme. So that's the battle that's about to go down here on Center Court 2024 Mid-Atlantic Major. Ryan, thank you so much for joining me. AC Diesel will be playing, I think, the first game's at 2:45.
Aftermath.
Versus Aftermath. So we'll be right back here on Go Sports. Stick with us.
Hey, one fucking down. One down. Good job, guys. Good team ball. Yeah.
The game of paintball is a fast-paced, high-intensity sport. But at its heart, the concept is simple. Shoot your opponents before you get shot, and then march down the field to victory. In the Major League Paintball Pro format, each team fields 5 players at a time. They have a buzzer on their side to protect. Hit the opponent's buzzer, win the point. En route to the buzzer, both teams will be locked in gunfights, utilizing diverse strategies while moving up a field full of bunkers, fighting to get into critical positions. And these strategies could change given the score and the time left on the clock. There's 15 minutes in regulation, and the highest point total wins the game. If there is a tie, then a 5-minute overtime period will be played. This is chess with guns, with no quarter given and no quarter requested. Welcome to Major League Paintball.